Y'all ready to get into this, y'all? The first episode, the first session. I'm so excited. So
I've only been waiting since Gen Con.
I was going to say Gen Con, and then when Matt and me and you talked about it at PAX U. We're like, we're going to do this, right?
Look, I am very proud of myself that 2 of the 3 games that I put on my Shark Tank, this is one of them and it's happening. Yay. And technically I'm doing The Witcher, it's just offline. So I did hit all 3.
Nice.
Because I was just like, I'm putting it on here so it'll happen this year. And I had to schedule it around Matt. So he had to wait till he was out of the job that made him work till 8 p.m. Pacific time. So we're here. I'm so pumped. But let's get into it. And we'll start. Like I said, get ready for me to read for a hot minute or talk for a hot minute. Because I want to just kind of read the little bit of the overview that is in the beginning of the book to kind of serve as a bit of a primer so everyone who may not know the Wildsea setting can kind of get a quick idea. Obviously, we'll go deeper into more aspects of it, more reaches, more creatures, more things as the campaign goes on. But some 300 years ago, the empires of the world were toppled by a wave of fast-growing greenery, a tide of rampant growth spilling from the west. This event, the Verdant, gave rise to the world we know now, a titanic expanse of wrestling waves and sturdy bows known as the Wildsea. So, see, we're in the treetops, baby, because now chainsaw-driven ships cut their way across the dense treetop waves, their engines powered by oil fruit, rope golems, honey, and pride. Their crew are a motley, humanity's weathered descendants, rubbing shoulders with cactoid gunslingers, animated wrecks, and silk-clothed spider colonies, human-esque slugs with driftwood bones, and other stranger things. Each has a role and a reason to be on the Wildsea, and it's their stories, your stories, that this game is designed to tell. The Wildsea hungers and grows, roots still questing down into the world's depths as its waves rippled with life. Spits of ancient earth and heights of old world monuments now serve as ports, cities, farms, jails, each with their own laws and ways. The years after the Wildsea's arrivals were harsh, and by the time the art of sailing was rediscovered, most old cultures had splintered into new, often unrecognizable forms. The economies of the Verdant world are unpredictable and ever-changing, but there's always value to be found in those willing to brave the perils of the wild. That is where you all come in. Wildsailors, part of a crew cutting their way across the island-studded wilderness, the treetop sea, on a vessel of your very own, which is where we begin, on your ship, which we were supposed to talk about this before we started, but we didn't. What are we naming our ship, y'all?
The Tree Stalker.
It's not bad. Y'all are made to be kind of
I'm down.
in there.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
All right.
Things.
I mean, yeah. I might call it TS for short. Yep, I need help. I need help.
Wait, but is it like stalk?
Perfect, exact. Sorry. You're perfect, exactly as you are.
So you are a crew of many skills, we'll say, mostly working, though, to recover salvage for clients. Your Captain Ara, set up for you, or get sidetracked delving into uncovered ruins, following mysterious shards, or probably about anything that really catches any of y'all's eye, as you have a captain, but y'all are more of like a collective, really. You know, everyone's got to say. And recently, though, you have found yourself scraping through the heat of the Icterin. Icterin? I looked up the pronunciation to make sure I said it right, because that is a word that doesn't make sense in my head. Icterin. Which, like I said, when we were about to start, we're probably in the least Wildsea part of the Wildsea, as this is an area. It is a relentless reach within the Wildsea. Reading more from the book here. Is a mesmerizing, yes, perilous region dominated by iron spines, which are mile-high cacti, instead of the giant treetops that you are used to. that form a vast, intricate wavescape. There are no iron roots to provide stability here. Instead, ships navigate carefully along blossom-marked paths or face the relentless tearing of their hulls. Swaths of pink and yellow cactus blossoms signal safer routes, but danger lurks amid the beauty. The unyielding heat brings long days and freezing nights, forcing crews to have to swallow themselves to protect against the what's the word? Elements.
I was like,
Elements. I want to remind everyone that I have been on NyQuil since Tuesday. Today, my brain is still recovering from this. But clean water is a precious commodity because you are basically in a desert. You can extract it, though, through the cacti, through some drilling rigs and some other kind of industrial secrets and inventions here. The echoes of ancient deserts persist in canopy-level sandbanks. So you're going to have this mix of these just what look like dunes within mile-long drop below it, possibly. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then we have the air is yellow, kind of occasionally giving rise to sandstorms from this sand going around, and unmoored thorns. Both terms are hard for me sometimes, y'all. And then the settlements here that you can find are probably hybrids of old temples and dried cactus pads and barge cities, all of this trying to kind of survive in this heat, which you all have done so far. So let's give me a break from talking, as all of you are currently gathered inside the bridge of your ship, trying to kind of protect yourself from the elements for a bit, waiting for your next orders, really the next discussion that Captain Ara will lead for you all. But I'll go in the same order that I did our intros in. If you would like to explain, one, what you look like, and maybe what your demeanor would be like while you're just kind of killing some time waiting there. And so, yeah, we'll start over with Nyx. Who are you playing?
So I'm playing Indy. Indy is a gal, a mushroom person, if you will. They are purple in nature with a darker purple cap and a lighter purple body. They have 2 eyes that never blink, and their mouth doesn't really go up and down. It's just got gills and it vibrates, but it's not really talking. I'm just like putting my voice into people's minds. Indy has 2 versions. Indy has on-ship version, which is very southern, genteel, and then Indy has scavenger Indy, which is, let's just say you don't want to have scavenger Indy be on your you don't want to be on scavenger Indy's bad side. You understand what I'm saying? So, Indy is making sure everybody's staying hydrated and really just like trying not to complain too much about the heat, because they like the dark and the dank and the wet, and there's not a lot of that here.
Not at all. The opposite of that. So Casey, who are you playing, and what do they look like? What are they doing currently?
So my character is named for something that both me and Nyx enjoy. Dredging Deep. Anybody who gets that name will get it. Dredgen is a ironbound. Is that what it's called? Yeah, ironbound. And he is ironbound. He is a soul that chose like a suit of armor. What that suit of armor consistently changes, but the majority of his body is like vines and trees and twigs. And so think of Iron Man meets Iron Man meets Groot, but he's got some kind of animal skull for his eyes and face and stuff like that. So people have something they can talk to. And the whole reason why he's done this is he's y'all's cutter or hunt. Yeah, that's what it is, right?
Hacker. But
Hacker.
Yeah.
He's y'all's hacker, and he uses his vines to swing like Spider-Man.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's what he does. And as of
cool.
right now, As of right now, because of his like leafy tree growth, he has shrunk his head into his armor and put a thing over the cap to keep his head dry or wet, and then he got his arms out for any of the smaller crewmen to like hide underneath his tree branches, and he's just singing a little diddly little song, just a little song here and there, trying to keep spirits up as he's giving shade to his crew. And if he's not doing that, he's probably asleep. Until he's told to go cut things down, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go take a nap now.
Love it.
So yeah, that's dredging.
Love it. Let's then, I'm going to mix up the order a little bit and go to Gavin instead, since I know there's a little connection between those two characters there. Would you like to describe yourself and what you might be up to?
Yeah, I play Quario Luigi, and he is another Ironbound, a Think So brother, what I'm determining our relation is, a Think So brother to Dredgen, who is made up of old world science. So has a little bit of Taco Bell, the little chime bell thing, has a little bit of the Subway Arrow, has a lot of old PlayStation and Nintendo ports all over his body. There's 3 centralized on his face. So it kind of looks like an eyes and a mouth, but it's just weird proportions, and they're all over his body. So technically, he can always see and talk to you. And he's probably in the kind of generator engine room because I play as a Tempest, which is kind of like the wizard in this world. And the feeling of talking to him, not only does he never talk to you, his face to your face, it almost feels like you're about to get zapped by something. Like when you wear wool socks, you haven't zapped anything yet, but you know if you touch this thing, that's what it's like kind of being around him. He's probably just sticking his fingers and arms into the sockets of things just to give it a little extra juice while he's meditating.
I love it. I'm still going to mix it up because I think someone you could probably get some juice from. Matt, will you explain your character and what they look like and such?
Yes, for me, yeah. I was laughing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, my character is the navigator for the crew. His name is Drake Cabot, spelled Cabot because he's fancy. He's got kind of like, if you think of, or if you look up like, pirate captain clothing, that kind of big jacket, kind of frills kind of vibe. That's what he's rocking. It's all very muted colors, a lot of grays, and he has a black bandana, black dark gray charcoal color. He's a Ketra, so he is kind of like an octopusy kind of dude. His skin is see-through, right? Super clear. His skeleton's sort of made of metal, and you'll notice like. Behind the bandana, he's got a lot of tendrils that have all kinds of like metal earrings or kind of spikes coming through. And every so often, it's funny you mentioned electricity, Gavin. There's a lot of sparks flickering here and there, jumping between the different tentacles, kind of dancing. And you can't really figure out why or when or what triggers it, but every so often, his skin color sort of just flashes white, and it changes from whatever color A was to some different color of color B. So it might be turquoise at one moment, you see this like quick flash, and all of a sudden he's bright red or super yellow or something to that effect. It's kind of like constantly rolling, just kind of random times.
Yes. Alrighty, let's then go over to Holly. Who you playing? What they doing? What's their vibe?
Okay. Well, so I'm playing a Mothrin, and they are large moth people. And as you can see by my makeup tonight, I look just like a rosy maple moth. I have antenna just like a normal moth would, except for in this world, Mothrin's typical wings, they can no longer really carry them for flight, and so that's an important distinction. but I am playing Dryocampa rubicunda, and she goes by Ruby, and and she is the Crash. She likes to blow shit up. And she
The
is
cutest
tiny.
thing.
Yeah,
And most
she's not
terrifying.
big. She is not big. She is tiny, and I'm so excited to play her. She has most rosy maple moths do not have little balls at the end, but Rosie does, and her uh, wings look just like a rosy maple moth, except for there is essentially she's modded them because that's a big thing that the Mothrin do is body modification, and so she is she has not only essentially what I would say reinforced her wings a little bit. She also has what would look like a POW sign, but without the word POW on it on her wing, and she's just a little guy who likes to
That's a
blow things
little
up.
guy.
I feel like there's been a handful of times that Dredgen was messing around somewhere and didn't realize like this was where your stuff was and like accidentally kicking. He's like
Oh yeah.
and like burned half of his stuff
I
off.
would
He's
say
like,
she like a little bit of her fur on her tendrils is a little singed. It's like always every once in a while you see like a little black spot where she got a little overzealous.
And
okay.
You walk out of a
usually
room sometime like soot on your face and cough a little
Yeah.
bit.
it's usually followed by Indy just pouring tea on her because we know it's okay,
It fixes
darling.
it.
It's okay,
You
sweetheart.
good?
Right. And she has an affinity for things of pre-Verdancy world. The typical Crash likes to destroy things, and while um, Ruby, she does enjoy that. She really does like to create something new, and that's her whole thing is that she's wanting to create something new always.
You'd be a prime candidate for like the sculptors of.
Yes.
Oh my god, this is like my third beer in, so bear with. What's the monument with all the presidents' faces in the rocks? I
Mount
can't think of the
Rushmore.
name.
Mount
Mount
Rushmore.
Thank you, Jesus. But you're just like boom, and it's a head.
And it's done.
It's just like out of a big tree.
Yeah, out of a tree. Yes, and she's actually a shankling, so she is what somebody would be. She lives in the tree shank, which is the highest part. Even it's taller and higher than the Wildsea, and so she's very elegant. She's usually pretty graceful. She's just a little soft guy, like she is.
Oh my god, we need to get. I don't know if Blair has a free Friday, but she needs to come guest as her character from the Wildsea campaign or the 3-shot we did on Lost Caravan because she was also a little shankling Mothrin and y'all would be best friends because she
Yay.
was like a sharpshooter. So I could see a lot of like throwing a bomb, shooting it, action going on. It would be
Yes,
the greatest.
absolutely.
Okay.
Perfect.
So you are all in your various areas with, I guess I'll describe Captain Ara here, who is probably looking over some charts, most likely more closely with Drake than anyone else here, like kind of paying attention to these charts. But they are a Zealocrae, which for those who don't know this world, is an entire colony of spiders that kind of share a hive mind and live in whatever I was gonna say skin suit, which sometimes, yeah, they do,
Perfect.
but also sometimes silks and all sorts of things here, you know. She's a little less terrifying than the ones that use dead bodies to live in. You can tell that she almost looks like has collected bits and pieces of fabrics from different places she's been, as it almost looks like a coat of many colors kind of situation with different pieces of fabric sewn in, different kind of scarves all over, with, I don't know, what seems like a good face. We already have someone with like a animal kind of skull situation going on.
You probably have your face covered like with a veil.
Yeah, and there's like a veil and like a big hat. So it's like just the darkness is kind of the in between there.
You've got like four eyes on either side, and you can see like two of the eyes from under the veil and the hat, and two of them are obscured on either side.
Yes, I love it. You know, and you can still see bits of kind of the silk of the actual spiders mixed in, and some of the little guys kind of going around. But it is very, very kind of flowy and intricate, and really is kind of a collection of all the places she's been. Because as you'll know her, she's just like a child of the world, man. Aren't we all? You know, just wants to explore, wants to bring everyone together, wants to just learn the secrets here, but also wants to make money, because you gotta to keep a ship running or trade, you know, maybe not necessarily like cash dollars, but find stuff, sell stuff, trade stuff, all of that good nonsense, which is what brought y'all here in the first place. As like I said, you are kind of huddled in the bridge away from the elements, looking through these like dust covered windows, sand blasted at this point, windows at these thorn covered iron spikes. What you expected to find once you made it to this point was some of those cactus blooms that you could travel upon, but currently none in sight. You came here as one of the only crews probably brave or stupid enough to perform a delivery in this area. Also, disclaimer for everybody watching, I stuck very close to the book with this. So the NPCs, the locations all come from this reach section because it's so well done. So if you have also been a NyQuil for 5 days straight and can't think of a unique idea, this book helps you so much. I just have to say it because they are like the coolest NPCs, and I'm not taking credit for any of them. Because the first one is you were hired by the architect king herself from the port town of Morrow in Foxloft. Or at least you kind of think it is. It had her seal on it. You didn't see her. You weren't even near Foxloft when you got the order or the package. But it had her seal on it. But as pitched, as a simple job, right? Deliver the cargo, return to Marrow for some further compensation. That is until probably Drake realized, looking at the charts, because I don't know if Captain Ara would have been of the thought to ask where exactly it was going, assuming it would be somewhere easy. But no, here, which is currently, hope I'm not going to butcher the pronunciation, the Zolok Crawling, which is a sprawling jumble of stones, sand spits, cactus spines, and the precise borders of this kind of dune field shift from month to month. It is just this roaming, moving ecosystem in this area here that makes navigation and cartography impossible, because your charts are going to be outdated. Who knows? By the day,
within minutes. Yeah.
It's out. So as you can imagine,
this is very clearly my favorite part of the entire world.
Of course.
You're like, I have to map this, but I can't.
I just imagine some cabbage guy like from Avatar, like, I am going to map this area, and every time it's like perfect detail, it just moves.
Her changes. Everything grew up again, changed.
It's
Love.
Damn
Hey, Felixy, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thanks for following.
Yay.
And welcome. I see some new chatters in today. Thanks
We
for
also
joining.
have a new follow from D20 Dad.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh,
Good name.
Ooh, hey, let's go. I love it.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm
Gonna drink
gonna
my
go ahead and I'm gonna take advantage of your silence, DM, and slide in.
Oh, wait, but hold on.
Nope.
Can't yet. Because, hey, I'm gonna pull a little switcheroo. You guys already finished the job.
Oh.
All right.
Well, look. Well done.
You did it. Good job. The trek here was pretty
I
easy
told you I
until
could
you
get
hit.
us here.
Go us.
Until you kind of hit this area, which obviously by its nature has had many failed
Good job, team.
colonization efforts. Things move, but there is one crew that is in this area, and who you were sending this package to, or this delivery to. And I kid you not, again, I took all the names, and I absolutely love that this is what this is called. One crew traverses the disturbingly mobile ground. Those that pilot it, the ship, which is a part port, part ship, part factory, called a tongue, unfurled, which is a titanic mobile water drilling rig made to drink from the iron spines. Follows the dune kind of wherever it goes, because the water here is actually pretty clean. Like it's missing a lot of the corruption that other places do. The idea is maybe because it keeps moving around or whatever, and it's so plentiful because no one's ever freaking here. So this thing kind of goes through, drills up, purifies what little bits they need to out of the water, all that fun stuff. Your trip here, like I said, was pretty easy until you hit the crawling. Took a bit of a beating getting to the mobile dock, but you were able to finally kind of meet them. Drop off this packages. There's quite a bit of supplies and stuff that they kind of needed to the crew. And as a thank you, they refilled all of your water reserves. You got nice, clean water. You were good, which is good because y'all were running extremely low before that. And they also offloaded 2 cases of cactus pulp for you, which is a cargo trade item, which I put in Legend Keeper on the ship sheet for y'all, what that is exactly. So if at any point you want to use it or trade it or whatever, that exists for you. But they pretty much directed you to the nearest edge that they expected was there, so you can kind of escape the crawl, which is where you are, kind of resting in the spines and the dunes, staring at more spines, no blooms. Now you can talk.
Okay. Yeah, so I imagine we're going over what I'd previously charted or any charts we may have acquired, and we're not really seeing anything.
Yeah, you're kind of looking like you have charts for the larger Ictern area. Obviously, this dune is ever evolving, but it is a little hard to kind of pin where you are when this thing could be possibly like traveling over landmarks currently,
Okay, I am going to go ahead and activate my hull side ability. So as the navigator, I have an ability where while I'm aboard my ship, because I very clearly think like this is my ship, this is my buddy, like I love this thing. It is like all of my everything. And like, you guys are cool, but like I care about my ship though.
I will say too, as long as y'all have known the ship, he's been here.
Yeah, so while aboard the ship, you can see as though you had eyes at any point across the outer hull. So I can see everything. How do I don't know how to use that track, but I want to use that ability to see if I can find some sort of heading, like with all the sand and everything blowing around. I don't know what we can see, if anything, but everybody needs to be hunkered down. I can still navigate or kind of like figure out what's going on around.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will say with that, if you want to look at some of your stats and such that you have, if you have anything that's kind of perception-esque you would like to kind of use with that, to kind of look from the boat's perspective around and see if you can see anything kind of out of the sand wind.
While he's getting ready for that, Indy is going to be bringing him a cup of tea.
Because Nix, what does Indy do again?
Indy is the steep. I forgot to say that when I introduced myself. Thanks, Ruby. I am a steep and making teas is what I do. I never waste a drop. I have incredible balance when I am on deck, probably because I'm a stumpy little mushroom person.
Oh my god, I love
I
everybody's
feel like
I know.
Driven is like following you because you've asked because it's so hot on the deck, and you're like, "Hey, can you shade me real quick?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah. Let's let Drake do his thing real quick.
I
Okay,
just
so
imagine.
go ahead, Gavin. Nope.
I was gonna say, how tall are you? Because I imagine the Ironbound are like massive. So I just love these two like
Pretty
massive
large.
characters.
Oh wow,
With,
no,
like, these
whatever
little-
the tallest you can be. Like so like I don't know, 9 foot tall.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The average ceiling's like 10, so anything you're gonna have to
under-
crawl through doors. But
Meanwhile, Indy
And I'm-
is like 5 foot nothing.
Yeah. I'm just like the tiniest. Like, not just short, but I'm like small. Like, just do.
Okay, I have 2 points in sense, and so sense is a skill of glances, insights, and intuition. You sense to push your awareness of the world past its usual limits. So I think that applies.
that definitely applies. I don't have the. Did I send you? I'll find it during break. I have like a quick reference thing. Oh,
Yes, you did.
where's our GM screen? What the hell? I'm playing this.
Oh, it's back there somewhere. You have it.
So while we're doing that, waiting for that, I guess we can do some role play. But
Yeah.
Andy says, "Hey, Drake, I brought you something to help with your concentration. You've been doing so much work for us. Just remember, you don't only have to look down. You can look up too." And then you see their cat kind of look up at the sky.
I should a cat.
Oh my god. So Drake will take it. He'll immediately like kind of swirl it around, like take the smell, swig it. Thank you, Wendy. I really appreciate that. I needed something to help me figure out where we are. He starts having like a mini panic attack.
There's just like a little wriggling hand just kind of sits on your shoulder that you're used to. It's just like a bunch of little tiny massages.
Oh my gosh.
fine.
It's terrifying and also great.
Yeah, it took all of y'all a long time to get used to it, but now there's like nightly little massage circles. You fight for whoever sits in front of the captain.
you know how
Amazing.
dude, it's so good.
Okay,
And
so
thank you. I needed it. You know how Hades, when he like freaks out, the Hercules movie Hades, where he's like, "I know," when it like blows up or whatever. When Drake is freaking out, you get electric sparks in all of his tendrils.
Awesome.
Like,
I love
But-
it.
plug
Where are
into that.
you doing this navigating, vibing with the ship? Where is it?
the bedroom. No, I'm kidding. There's probably a navigation. Like, there's probably a table where I was kind of going over what was charted with the captain and like showing, kind of trying to figure out where we were based on where our heading was. That kind of a deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I-
Okay, so
I
you
just
said you
don't
had-
know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if Quario's with you right now, but whenever you do your big bolt ups, I think you'll just see Quario move his hands, and you'll just see him draw in the extra sparks that you shoot off. It just kind of absorbs into his arm.
Yes. Do you have a CRTV like in your body somewhere that turns on?
Oh my
No.
god.
No,
I
you'll
love
see
it.
little different screens of different cracked phones. It's not a CRTV, but if he's really lucky or in a really good mood, it falls directly into like a plug port, and then like you just see everything in his whole body just kind of.
Nice. I
SIM
love it.
cards. Are there SIM cards in the broken phones?
Yes.
And so, like, when that happens, one of the random videos that's still saved on the SIM card plays.
Yeah.
100%.
Like a random text message notification pop up.
I just
100%.
think about like
Oh
that
God, what
scene in
horrible text would
Wall-E,
you get
right?
after like a
where it's,
sudden whirlwind
"Hello,
event?
Dolly." Like
Yes.
I'm like a giant Wally, essentially.
I
love
love that so
I
much.
love that. All right, so Matt, you said you're going to use, you've got 2 in sense, so
I've got
you
2
get
in
to
sense.
add 1 edge as well. What kind of edge would you like to kind of,
Ooh.
so basically to do a roll, you pick your edge, you pick any skills and languages up to 3, so you can have 3d6 for that, and then you can get up to 2 advantages, which can be from an item or a player, which I would say Indy giving you tea and calming you down could fully count as 1 advantage.
Okay, so
That's kind of where I was going with that.
Perfect.
yeah. I'll probably use sharps. I think that's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what was the other thing that I can look at?
So you've got 1d6 from your edge for sharps. Then you have 2 from your skills from senses. You have now 1d6 from advantage for Indy giving you tea. So you have 4d6 currently. If you could use any sort of item you have, you could get an additional d6 because you can get up to 2d6 for an advantage. I'm going to say you don't have a language that would matter, so you can't get like an additional net skills language, seeing as you're just looking at things. So
I don't think I put individual items in my inventory. I think everything we did was crew specific.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, we can fill those in later.
This does say this is skill up to 3d6.
Yeah, but you have 2 in your
plus
sense.
Advantage. I see.
Yeah,
I'm picking up.
Yeah, so you'll go through each column and build your pool of dice.
Got it. So yeah, 1 for the edge, 2. Got it. Get 1 for it. Okay, yeah, I think that's what I'm at then. So it'll be 4d6 to roll.
Yep, sounds good.
Damn, first roll of the game.
And it's a pool system.
I
You
love
want
it.
just high numbers.
Yep.
And then so 6 is obviously the best. But let me know if you get any doubles, even if they're lower numbers.
All right. Huh, I dropped 1. Oh, son of a bitch. I did get doubles. I got 2 2s.
Okay.
I got a 1 and a 6.
Okay, so you have a triumph and a twist. So basically, when you have doubles, you get a twist. A 6 means you have a triumph.
I do have a something. Hold on.
I think that was change a conflict to a triumph, but you already got the triumph because 6 is your highest.
I think you're right. Okay.
Yep. Which, by the way, do you want my dice rolling tray?
No, I'm going to roll it on the book.
Oh, okay. It just sounded like you were they were going all over the place.
He said the book is fine.
The book is good. Okay. So yeah, you are kind of looking around, and I think that you're kind of able to sense from the bottom of the ship, probably near where some of that electricity is getting pulled from Quario. You can see, what does it look like when you kind of see from the parts of the ship? Is it just like you have eyes all over the place, or is it like what is the view kind of like?
Let's see. I kind of want it to feel like, have you ever I don't know if any of you have like used a VR headset or anything where you're like in a game and you're like looking over an object. There's a game that came out a while ago where it's like your little mouse and you're helping them move through a maze and you can kind of like view the whole maze, whatever. I kind of picture it like that, where like, I don't know, almost like a you know how when Aang would enter the avatar state, his eyes go blue and whatever. Kind of like that, except I get like a view of what looks like the model ship essentially, but kind of centered from the outside that I can like look around.
Cool.
Moss, thank you, D20 Dad. That's exactly it. Phenomenal game. Highly recommend. Anyway, continue.
Love it. So yeah, you are able to kind of hone in on a section where this one of the larger kind of sand dunes goes, just kind of ends kind of lower to the ship. You know, you'll obviously try to avoid those and not get like beached by any means, but you notice that there are bits of these iron spines that are kind of fallen over that have blooms and stuff on it. And they kind of make a path. So it looks like maybe another ship had kind of come through here and kind of turn them. And it's real hard to see outside, like from y'all's current view, as just the dunes in the way and this. So, you know, you could you're gonna have to scrape through some nonsense, but you could kind of get along to that. But it does look fresh, like something had kind of relatively recently come through here, and you can even see in some of the side iron spines some kind of pulp kind of trails, as it looks like either from scraping from a ship coming by or maybe from the drilling itself, someone trying to get water or something. But you're able to see that basically you have to do a little bit of a detour, but there seems to be a downed path of safer blooms, possibly following someone, so that's up to your own discretion. But
Yeah, I'll relay that, like, all of those details to the team, right? Like, yeah, like it looks like there's safe passage, but we wouldn't be the only ones down there, and we don't know what the motives or goals or objectives or whoever else might have already beat us, what they might be, but it would be a safe charting.
Indy is just shaking their head at the thought of such wasteful use of pulp. You know, that pulp could have been used to hydrate and help somebody survive, and now it's just baking in the sun. So
I can
wasteful.
go get it for you, miss. Listen, if you need
Don't
me to.
you run off the ship. We don't need that right now.
Oh.
Right now, I just need you to be here and be your gorgeous tall self. That's all
Okay.
you need to be.
I can do that.
On
It
this
goes-
ship, what? Oh, sorry. Do crow's nests exist? That's all I need to know.
if you want one, totally.
Yes.
Okay. Great. I'm in the crow's nest after, like, if I find a time to go up there. That's not something that I just leave and go, but it's hot.
Yeah.
I like the shade.
That's fair.
So
Yeah, I think just for a little bit of flavor, whenever I'm using that hull sensibility, you know how the old timey, almost like radio sound, where it's like you have that talk over your voice, and you just kind of sound like this, right?
See?
Like,
you see,
yeah. That's what you hear when I'm communicating. It's like that
That's
kind of voice.
amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's flashing right there.
I
Absolutely.
have this idea. So, because I'm a Tempest and one of my abilities is Geist, which means I can move things without touching it, I feel like just small little objects just float around Quario. And whenever you do ship sense, I feel like like almost like a weird pressure wherever he is because he's levitating, but you know he's there. So like there's this weird force that only like you
That's
can
super
get
cool. I dig it.
when you're doing ship sense. So you always know where Quario is.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
since we're how long have we been in this pot of the wilderness?
The captain just
Would
like
would we
I
have
feel like. Oh, sorry, go on.
would we have come up with a way to use the sun to our advantage, like maybe making attaching some antiquated solar energy collectors to our sails?
I would say probably not that necessarily yet. I think y'all have probably come up with ways to protect yourself from the sun and the elements. If that is something y'all would like to work on, just for y'all to know and also viewers to know, we're going to kind of treat this in kind of the real time as we're playing. So we'll have 2 weeks of downtime between each session that y'all can work on some projects so we can do some roles and stuff after the fact.
Well,
That's definitely something we'll start on.
Indy is definitely an idea person, but not a actuator, as it were.
I think Quario would be a good actuator for that. So if you ever need ideas,
yes, Quario, can we use this solar energy to our advantage at some point?
and you'll see like little sparks travel to one port. The face is not looking at you, but it's like an old Nintendo 64 kind of slot port, and you just see it light up. Well, it would depend on how close we could get, but I think it could be possible. May take some time though.
Well, something to think about.
I have some interesting ideas. I'll think about it. Yeah. Good idea. You
Y'all
see
have
the
so many
sparks
great
move up.
ideas. Just
Thank you,
another reason
Captain.
I'm so happy to have y'all on my ship.
Captain, how many cups of tea do you need
Today,
today? I want to make sure I can accommodate.
I'd say at least 5 more. The last 3, please, being no caffeine.
Understood.
Gives me the jitters. Her whole body just wriggles.
I can only imagine. Herbal
Hmm.
tea it is. Let me go see if I can make something out of those petals that we collected from the cacti.
Oh,
That might be
that would
fun.
be beautiful.
That is
Drake, are we
good.
following that path?
That's the only safe. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's the only safe path that I can see. But I'll defer to the crew. I don't want to make that unilateral decision.
Oh, how fun. It's a vote. We really need to hire one more person so we have odd numbers.
Technically,
well.
you count for about 1,000. So.
You could split
count
yourself in two, Cap.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That would honestly help things. Just like motions towards where a brain would be if this was an actual person. Would help
Love.
things up here. Okay. So, how does everyone feel about following the blooms that have fallen?
I'm about it.
I
They would make for great ingredients.
That means I think.
Wonderful.
I.
It seems the eyes have it.
a we then.
Please
Aw.
have it. Well, then I guess I'll chart a course, and you can feel the kind of saws booting back up, and everything kind of start to move very roughly. As still there's just this scraping of these like cactus needles and stuff on the side, which thank God y'all put a lot into Hull, otherwise we would not be here. As
Good job, guys.
yeah, kind of start to get around.
I'm in the what is the crow's nest at this
Yeah.
point. Keeping an eye on things. I like to be up high.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
What's your crow's nest like? I feel like that's probably your spot. What's it look like? You got
Yes.
anything up
Okay.
there?
So I would say that it's messy. I mean, it's messy. But Ruby, she's the type of messy, what I like to call that ADHD messy. I got piles, but I know where everything is.
Looks
And
around my office.
you're right. I know. If only you saw what was on the other side.
I wasn't signing up to be personally attacked.
I'm so sorry.
during this session.
But yes, I've got my piles. I know where everything is, and she's slowly, what I would say, collecting little things that she finds on expeditions that we're doing, on things that are not really of what she would consider worth, or she knows that, like, ultimately she's not taking from the crew. This is something she's found. She's just pulling it in, trying to find a way to incorporate it. I would say there's probably, like, in one little spot there's rolls of what I would consider like parchment or silk, in which she has like drawn out designs. um and she kind of just like stuffs them in there, and she takes them with her when she leaves every night, just so they're not left up there. But she keeps them with her because that's all she does. Like she's just constantly thinking along the lines of, okay, well, I wonder if I could do this, if it would do this. And so, and she's up there by herself a lot of times, so that's what she does while keeping an eye out.
I love
So
it.
so when you're not by yourself, with consent, obviously.
course,
I
always.
do have the ring-tailed rabble rouser that could make it up there.
Perfect.
Which
love that.
so what should we name our little lemur friend?
Yes. Whatever.
Collective name for the lemur friend.
What's the name of the
I don't want to be like
lemur?
Zaboomafoo, but
Right.
I'm 100% down for Zaboomafoo, but what was the name of the one in Madagascar, the
King
little one?
King
King
Julius.
Julius.
No, what was the little one
Little
called?
one. Mort.
Mort, yes.
Mort.
I love it. Mortimer, and we call them Mort
Yes.
for short. Yes.
Yes. So Mortimer comes to hang out with you from time to time.
Okay, and I love that.
Love it.
Does Ruby have in case of emergency, grenade or whatever kind of hidden all over the ship or in the crow's nest? Or is that always on you? You are in case of an emergency.
So
You are the emergency
I
grenade.
am. No, so I do have one of the aspects that I took is called I don't want to say it wrong, but it is called baby bombs.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have they are handheld explosives waiting to be thrown.
I love
which
it.
is why I'm in this crow's nest. And I also took the ability hawk sight, so I can see much further and in greater clarity than the typical wild sailor.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Perfect place for you to be then.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, if there is one, that's where I'm at for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that ship is in real danger. You let her place bombs. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All I'm seeing though is like either Dredge or Quarren throwing Ruby and just going,
You got this.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Let me just wind up real quick.
Mhm.
All right. So yeah, y'all feel the ship kind of whir to life and start to make its way through kind of out of this it's not ever changing as in it's actively constantly changing. Like I said, it is over a slower period of time, but out of this area that you know as the TZ is just Z, right? So it's Zolok crawling.
Zolok.
yeah,
That's
so
right. Yeah. And
Chaos
into
40K pays off.
I didn't know that, but now I do. You scrape through these iron spikes for a bit. I feel like there's probably a lot of constant adjusting by anyone that knows how to keep the ship in tip-top shape.
Yeah, I feel like my guy's constantly busy with his
You're probably like
chain.
hacking some
like
things out of the way.
just keeping just
Absolutely.
trying to keep him from being too much damage.
Yeah, but y'all go for a bit and then you hit this area, which is still kind of rough, like I said, because it is very clearly some that have fallen. Granted, others are already starting to kind of grow up in the space, but there are blooms and such that you're able to kind of glide a little easier on top of, which is the usual path through this general reach is on top of these blooms. And I'll say, I mean, even for ease at this point, because I know Dredge, you like doing kind of fishing a bit and getting some things as you're going. You've probably lost half of your gear trying to do that here, and so you're just like not even trying. Yeah,
I'm like,
but the blooms that have kind of fallen are starting to kind of like get pushed up with your boat, so y'all are able to kind of grab some if you do want some petals.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
grab some petals.
Have some, it says there.
I'm definitely collecting petals and anything else I can scavenge from this area for making things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Break off
use,
giant spines.
Mm-hmm.
Use them like a spear.
It looks like a spear to me. It looks like a toothpick to Dredge.
Dredge quarter is so large.
Well, as Dredge is like flying around and shit too, like I'll use the ropes and rigging of the ship as like his oh shit bar. You know, like if he needs to get out, like so I have a skill called Skoinesis, Skoinesis. I have
Scion,
uncanny control over nearby ropes.
kinesis.
Scion kinesis.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I have control over the nearby ropes and rigging, which I can twist and move according to my will. So like if there's ever an
You
shit
are the
moment,
ship.
like, got you.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I think it's really unsettling to like when it's like really rocky to be around Quario because of his like movement and he can levitate. Like he's always level. Like no matter what's going on, he's kind of like always gyroscopically level. And so even if everyone looks wrong, he's just like,
He's like,
how's it
he's
going?
the one character that doesn't understand the concept of sea legs.
Yeah. It's like, just float. It's easy. Just do it.
Just do it. I think if
Just believe in yourself
Dredge,
hard
it's like
about it.
dredging. That's
Is
not how that
it
works.
is it effortless, elegant? I need to know. I mean, you're always floating, but is it like
Super unsettling. No, it's
okay,
like
great.
it's like electric pieces like magnetism kind of snapping together in place, but like with a core that's always right.
Okay.
So
Good.
like
yeah, so
one
the little
day,
horror
The ball
movie is like
flowing
going to
jump,
move.
rolling around itself.
Good. Good.
basically, like one day, his face is always the same because he knows that's what normal people like see as in a face, but the rest of his body's always like morphed in different. So like Taco Bell one day, Carl's Jr. the next. Who knows? Like it's always kind of just like moving around.
Why Carl's Jr.?
Because Carl's Jr. is great, and if anyone fights me on that, I'm going to be so
Because
sad.
Carl
I mean, I'm not
Jr.
gonna
is
fight you
the-
on it because I
It's
eat it.
Hardy's up here. It's Hardy's over here.
Or
so-
Hardee's.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Hardee's.
Same,
Or
same,
The
same.
name Carl's Jr. is it's superior to.
I like to
Hardee's.
think though that like people will just think that's your name. So a lot of people just know you as like Carl.
Carl, you're like
Carl
I don't
Jr.
like that.
you know?
Mr. Bell.
Mr.
Yeah, 'cause they have
McDonald.
None of you have any
Oh, God.
reference to what Carl's Jr., Taco Bell, any of those
Oh.
things
100%.
are. You just
100%.
found the scrap. But
I
okay.
think-
Oh, good going.
go
Go
ahead. I was gonna say while everybody is like collecting, I think I'm purposely flying around because I've been static this entire time, being a big giant shade guy, and this is like the first time in like a couple of days he's able to do anything, and he's just gonzo. He kind of shrunk. So like when he's on the ship, he's as big as he can be to give as much shade to the crew. When he goes into hacker mode, he goes back to like a normal size. So he goes from 9 to 7 feet, and he just takes off swinging around with like a giant hook, cutting things out and like doing all kinds of weird tricks and stuff because he's just like having the best time of his life, finally able to cut loose a little bit.
Love it.
He'll wave at Ruby as he gets as high as he can to the ground. It's like, hi.
I think too, like while you do, you like, yeah, hop up like on one of the ropes, you know, Drake's kind of like watching to make sure you're grabbed up there and you're up at the same height as Ruby. The two of you notice at about the same time in the distance, probably Ruby was looking first, and that's what kind of made you turn as well, seeing as they can see a little further as y'all are going. You see that your path of this kind of like wreckage or well like the wrecked pieces of cactus end in a wreckage of a ship
Oh,
that
shit.
looks to be kind of like half buried a bit into a dune. Some of the iron spikes already coming up. You can see more bits of the cactus around it a little disturbed, but now it goes back to kind of the normal blooms up on the top of it, and you're not having to deal with these kind of like mismatched pieces.
Ruby? Cool.
Yes, Ruby. She yells down, and she's like, and she relays, "There's something ahead," and she like does it, and you don't know how a louder voice comes out of her, but it does, and she's like, there is something, ship. There's something there, and there's some blooms that it looks different. Careful."
What she
I think-
said. You want, Captain,
done.
I was like, "Oi, do y'all want me to go take a look?"
Quario will probably pull his finger out of the sockets and then head towards the front of the ship.
I think the captain's kind of got it on like it's still going, but it's more like the trolling motor, you know.
Cruise control, or
Yeah,
like
yeah. And then just kind of like
idle.
yeah, meanders up.
If there was such a thing as a current, you're just letting it carry you.
Letting it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like a little trolling motor, just enough to just keep kind of going
Love.
forward, but it's not
Love.
like too hard. As yeah, she'll
Smallest
kind of come up.
chainsaw.
Yeah, it's just the smallest chainsaw in the back. She's like, bzzz. Well, then, yeah, just kind of like walk up to the group of y'all. Your salvage?
We could use some salvage, at least some parts to replace the hull.
Hmm.
That's taking the damage.
Yes.
And you'll need resources
Indy is
for
kind
this.
of sitting on something. They're not really sure what it is, but they've got their cap cocked to the side.
That's not, and that's probably not food. You trying to eat?
Oh, I thought it might. I thought it might taste like something. Who knows?
Everything
I mean,
tastes like something.
Does it
Is
taste
it-
like something?
I was like,
like-
what does it taste like? You just like, I don't know. I was like, I don't eat. I drink your tea.
It tastes like rust.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
that
not food.
tracks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Concerned.
Oh, yes. New salvage. That doesn't look
Mm.
crusty.
I'm always looking for something. So
Hey, we do need some panels, so we
I
could
have-
use the sun.
I have a few things that I can use, Captain, to see if I can find something useful now that I'm no longer looking at food. So would you like me to try to find something?
Do you need to be on the ship or from here?
Oh, I can do it from anywhere.
Ooh.
Because, I like to find things.
Mhm.
You're so good at it. Sure. Maybe give us
All
a
right.
little taste of what's there before we step on, just in case. It's
If I had a tongue, I would lick my lips.
They don't
Uh,
have a tongue. Like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
they just
had
sit
a
down
tongue.
again.
Okay, so I have scavenge, which
Okay.
is searching for all the things, so I can do that. I would add not a drop wasted, so I just make sure that I would not overlook things that might be overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
And then what edge?
My edge would be instinct.
Okay. So is that 3d6 total?
Well, my instinct has a +1.
Okay, so yeah, you would have 1 for the instinct. What is your scavenge?
My scavenge, I have a mark in scavenge.
Okay, so that'd be
So, I
1
don't
for
know what that is.
scavenge.
Mhm.
And then you're going to use one of your advantage is going to be your ability. Yes.
The not a drop wasted.
Cool. So yeah, 3.
Okay, so 3d6. Handy dandy roller, don't fail me now. I got a 4, a 3, and a 2 for a total of 9.
All right, so we've got a 4, which is success with a drawback. So what exactly is it that you're kind of trying to do here? What is the ability? How do they kind of interact with this?
Well, so the captain is asking for something useful for the ship. So they're not asking me to look for like anything organic, which is my normal routine. However, so looking for something useful, I would just be like vibrating a little bit, kind of like sonar,
Mhm.
and just trying to get a feel for something that's not broken, something that's still intact, that that doesn't feel like it's falling apart with the vibration.
Gotcha.
It sounds like a deep drone, like from your sleeping apps. It's like
Ooh, yeah.
Like some brown noise or some shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like starts
Really. Some things may, flake off and whatnot, but it kind of reveals stuff.
Yeah. So you kind of start to focus in and kind of push this vibration through these iron spines towards this wreckage, which, like I said, now that y'all are getting a little closer, like I said, trolling motor. So not too close, but closer that you can kind of see a little bit more of it and get close enough for that ability to kind of really make it matter. It does look, probably still worn, like it's used, but it's definitely not rusted. It's definitely well kept. There are definitely pieces on it that do look a little newer, or a little more, worked on. And so as you start to kind of push in, the ship itself does have this very solid feeling, to the point that it seems odd that it's wrecked, because there's not like, the blades on it don't seem to be that messed up. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any sort of rips in the side of it or anything like that. But it does, I think, you're kind of trying to kind of like, I imagine it almost, totally if I'm wrong, kind of like Toph, when she like senses things and can kind of see the little outlines, you're kind of trying to build that picture of it.
Yeah.
And it's very still. Nothing is turned on. Nothing is humming. I think about the only sort of vibration you get is a drip, 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 drip from something.
There might be some water on. Hang on. There might be some water on it, Captain. But other than that, it's like this ship just fell out of the sky. It's completely whole.
Interesting.
So we could disassemble it, but it would take some time.
Can I see if there's any sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Any sort of like bioelectricity or any sort of power coming within the ship that I could use some sort of sense, or if that dripping is related to any sort of electricity, or I just feel like it's too quiet.
Yeah, if you want to, you want to make a pool here.
Yeah.
All right.
So then I have a 2 in sense.
Okay. And then what edge?
And I think tides, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
I think tides. And then I think that's it, because I don't want to use any of the other abilities. So I think that's a 3 total.
Three total. Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, I got 2 4s and a 3, so I got a
nice. All right, so you got conflict success with a drawback, which we're not thankfully in like combat where it's gonna be a scary drawback, but you do have a twist. So I'll say that you. How is it that you kind of focus in on this as well? How do you kind of follow up with what Indy has done?
Yeah, so upon hearing that it is quiet and there's nothing kind of on the ship, I feel like it's almost maybe not in the ship itself, but maybe the surrounding area, kind of seeing if there's any sort of life or movement, watching it or kind of scouting it, to see if anything's kind of laying in wait for us to go to the ship, which is kind of a prize waiting to be scavenged.
Yeah, absolutely. So you follow, kind of focus, try and sense kind of around it. And again, there's kind of this dead zone where the ship is. And I say dead zone, it seems like there should be, because it is a ship, but nothing is coming off this. There wasn't sound, electricity isn't happening. This could be just because everything's disconnected. It could be something more sinister. Like, you can't really kind of figure it out. But the surrounding area feels fine too. Say like you're not picking up anything except maybe I'll say for your twist, you are feeling a little natural energy starting to build up, like the very early stages of a storm.
Okay. So is it, if someone were like very attached to electricity, would it feel like weird, that ship itself, that it is like a dead zone, or is it just a dead zone in that it should be more functioning?
It should be, but it's
Okay.
not. So yeah, it's not like lead covered box, something is weird or anything. It's just kind of like there should be something turned on, even if it is just like navigation or general life support things. If because maybe they were doing something stupid and decided to dredge down and went into the under oak eaves, and you thought, okay, maybe it just got pushed over, that would still have electricity going to bring them back up, and that's not happening either.
Yes, and you kind of see the sparks move up now to the actual face now that a lot more people are here. It is very quiet there, but there's something brewing nearby, maybe a storm of some kind, so we may want to act quicker than not.
Well, I'm going to take that as my cue, and I am going to I want to swing over there.
Absolutely.
This is a trap. Let's trigger it.
Absolutely. Yeah, the captain will kind of go back and push a little closer. Anything?
I want to like walk up, make sure like a hook piece up to your harness, like on your back, like cool. Let me know when to pull.
Gotcha. I want to use. Is it tides? Do I want to use tides or do I want to use grace as my edge? You know what? I'm gonna use grace.
Are you in
Grace
big
is
mode or are you
agility
in
and
slender
precision.
mode?
I'd say both. It could argue depending on how you're vibing with what you're doing.
Are you in armor mode or in slender mode?
I'm in slender mode because I want to be quick about this.
Grace.
Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna use grace.
I had Slender Man, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
I did as well, but
No,
Put it
I
Do
together.
you imagine
I
like
put
his
it
creepy
together.
animal head?
No,
but with,
I
like,
couldn't
the black
actually.
I'm not look, my guy is like how I see him is outside of the animal head. He's kind of like he can go from a really skinny, fast moving guy to a Baymax.
Love it.
That's kind of how he works in his life. He's either a pile of leaves for everybody to take a nap.
Mental
or
health
Snorlax.
hugs in Baymax mode.
Yeah. So, or he's ready to get down, and so he turns into like a Grimwalker or something like that.
Love it. All right.
And then I have a 2 in Wave Walk.
Okay.
So, and then I want to argue that Matt's helping me by hooking me in.
Absolutely. It'll keep you from falling to something stupid. Yeah. Do you have any sort of ability or resource or aspect that you would like to use for additional advantage?
Let's see. I got Sawtooth Chakram, which I don't think I need to use. Hard one instincts. You can tell which branches will break and where they will hold at a glance. Increase your ship. Oh, that's for ship stuff though. I got gripping chain.
Yeah. Kind of
designed to find quick purchases and treat conflicts as triumphs when traversing the seas.
Cool.
So I'll use my grip chain. All right, so that's 5 dice. All right, let's see how bad this is gonna be.
You're looking for doubles or your highest number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and roll. I got double 6s.
Nice.
I don't know if that's good or not, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah, look, doubles adds a small, potentially useful twist, or they could also, I can suggest them, but also if any of you have any ideas, it's kind of collaborative. If you can think of a fun twist or benefit, feel free to throw in. We tell them the story together, y'all. But with the 6, triumph. I'm not even going to describe it. What does it look like?
Oh, cool. So he shrinks into a medium-sized form, right? Because he doesn't quite know what he's getting himself into. So if he has to fight, he wants to fight. And I think you see him back up and then you just hear these thundering footsteps as he leaps off like this and wide open, and then you just see you see the bark arms extend out with chains wrapped around him, and he just goes one after another like he's Spider-Man doing all kinds of flips until he lands perfectly in the center of that ship. And he's ready to go, and he's like, all right, I'm not
Okay.
immediately dead.
Right.
And so he yells back, it's good, guys.
Immediately fine. We're good. Is anyone following suit? Or is he
I will.
venturing the bit? You're
I'll
following?
follow suit. Yeah.
Okay. I'd say, there's already kind of this line there. I'm not going to kind of make everyone do a bunch of skill checks. If you want to kind of follow, y'all are
Yeah, I'm
generally
gonna hold
fit
on
enough.
to the line.
And yeah, you've got a line across now.
I was like, I'm gonna hold on to the line. If anything, I'll take the line off and tie it off to the ship.
Could I float? I have a storm stride ability.
Oh,
that marks
absolutely.
To float for me.
Easily.
So
right
like
across
my
the
my my
Can I
things
float?
I'm
my
just float.
my
I
think
love
so. My think so brother's just doing all this badass, and then you just see Quario. You just kind of just like hover just forward.
I think you
But-
get there. He'd be
But
like, "Why
he's
you-"
huge all the time. Like he's never small unless he's like contorting to
Mhm.
be balanced, and so you just see this like massive, almost statue just moving forward.
You make a
You're M.
sound?
Bison. You're M. Bison. That's what you are. You're just doing this. M.
I feel like-
Bison out of the movie.
I feel like you and then the captain together are so unnerving just because neither of you move properly, but you probably move similarly because they also kind of like they kind of float more than they walk. Like y'all are,
I also feel like
it's-
some of the ants or spiders fall down. I'll use the ability to just kind of also put them back. So like we're a really good combo together, but also you're just seeing like spiders fall off and moving back on.
I am also gonna steal. I know I gave everyone the preface that spiders would be in this, but if it ever gets creepy, stop. But I love how creepy they are. But I will stop. With anyone who's not icked out by it and consent wise, like for sure, I'm gonna steal what Casa did in my other game, where like a couple of little spiders here and there, if y'all go, will travel with you so they can keep eyes without having to like physically go. So there's probably just like a couple of little spiders like crawling around on
Are you
y'all.
kidding me?
But
My goal is to become the animal. Like I would
Just have
have.
them
If you
all.
want half your colony in there, I'd be like, here, you sit right here on the show.
Like you go. I mean, you keep telling them that they can vote differently. You're going to end up with a bunch of little split captains. So, anyone else
Yes.
other than
I'm all
the
for that.
Okay.
so many captains? Anyone else heading over, or
What-
just the two Ironbounds?
I cannot remember for the life of me. Is it daytime, dark?
We'll say probably like midday or so. So
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Good.
How much
Okay.
does the sand or anything impact? Because is it like super sandstormy or is it like
No, not right now. I mean, it's windy and like the sky and everything is tinted yellow and stuff from the sand, but it's not like it is constantly moving or battering you by any means. Y'all are also, since you were kind of in these wrecked pieces, you're kind of down and a little more protected from some of the wind. I mean, when y'all leave here and get back onto the blooms, you'll be in more of the wind again.
Okay. Ruby, she jumps down, and as she jumps, she like glides down very nicely. And when she lands, like there's like when she lands, just a little bit behind everybody, but when she lands, like there's like this little pop of dust that just pops off of her, and she and she just like scurries along, and she's just making sure she has everything, and she's just like right behind, not far.
Love it.
okay? I have a question.
Mhm.
I don't know. I kind of want to go exploring, but also I'm the oh shit button, so I kind of don't want to like lose said oh shit button.
Well, I mean, you've got your lead. Like for any salvaging that y'all do, you probably all have to like you're used to getting off the ship, coming back, those sort of things. So it would be something within your the captain's not going to leave Like they're staying just in case. But if anyone else wants to go or leave, that's totally fine. It's not like you're going down in ruins. You're just checking another ship. So it's up to your preference. But as a player, you can totally go explore if you want.
Yeah, I think I have a black market pistol, so I think the thing that I would do is make sure that it's fully loaded. Like I'm gonna imagine it looks like an old school like revolver, but with a large access to a larger magazine because I don't want to be limited to a revolver magazine size. So he like flips it open, spins it a little bit, puts it shut, like does the spinny thing into the holster, and like kind of exactly right. Like tip his hat to the captain.
Right.
Yeah.
This big around.
I dream a genie that materializes bullets.
So good.
So he'll like tip his hat to the captain and jump off, like just probably lean on your rope.
And then just take some tea. Just watches.
Is Indy joining us?
Indy, I can, but I would need help getting there. Because
I am happy to levitate with you. I can 100% levitate you with me.
Okay.
I'll just like pick you up and then come on.
I was like, okay, but whoa. Bye, Captain.
Bye.
When you levitate, you hear like the
Or like
kind of noise.
I think because you may hear that, but since they're a mushroom, I think it's more of like a high pitched like vibration because it's like all of the electric energy moving the bristles of the mushroom.
Ooh, I like it.
It's like I'm singing, but I'm not.
I love it.
You all hear from the like few little spiders on your shoulder, like "have fun," as like just echoing what the captain says from the ship. So you have Captain Spider walkie-talkies, but all of the messages will be relayed in little tiny voices like this. So just keep that in mind.
I love that.
But you all kind of get onto the deck of this ship, and I'll give one freebie since Drake has come on here that would be immediately noticeable here is, like I said, everything's very nice. Everything's very still. Nothing has changed for those of you that have kind of percepted all of that. But very clearly, Drake, you notice, you can see kind of these holes from big bolts and stuff of where things used to be on the ship that are no longer here.
Okay, so he'll like look around and notice or like see like that dishevelment or missing pieces and immediately turn if they who's like close to us.
I mean,
Or,
well,
like,
I'm in the
is
center
anybody
of the ship.
further ahead? Yeah, like what are the distances like?
Yeah, I mean,
Casey
depending on
landed
Dredge, I mean,
both,
yeah, he got there first and
yeah.
started looking around. Or
Yeah, I'm
waited
probably
for everybody.
closest to. I would think I would know where like the cargo hold is because I could give a crap. If I'm gonna let the ship people figure out what they can use for the ship. I'm going for salvage of cargo,
Absolutely.
so I'm gonna be at the cargo hold.
Okay.
So then I'm gonna say everybody except him can hear me relay,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say we weren't we're not the first. We might not be the last ones here, so be on your guard.
Hey,
And
Dredge.
immediately.
Dredge, Drake said that we weren't the first here and maybe not the last or something like that.
Tell him I said cool, and if there's a fight, let me know. And I start looking into the cargo bay.
Dredge is not going to stop. Like he's not going to lift his hand off his pistol as he's walking around. Or
Drake.
not Dredge, fucking Drake. Thank you. Yeah.
Drake, Dredge says he wants to fight.
No. I said if there's a fight.
Y'all can thank
Let me
Jason
know.
for this because he said and slightly changed by each spider that passes down the message. And
It's
I love
progressive
it.
telephone.
Damn it.
Oh my god, I love that.
No, little friend.
I love it.
We have to
love
speak
it.
really slowly and clearly so
Right?
everything is heard each time.
Tell Dredge his ass is gonna get left on this abandoned ship.
He said that your
Otherwise,
ass looks
he
like
will
the
kick
ship.
my ass.
Ship. Nailed it.
I do have a great big fat ass, so thank you, Greg. I mean, thank you.
That's where all the leaves go when you're in slender mode.
I like to think too that these spiders also don't necessarily know when messages are or aren't supposed to be relayed, so sometimes they'll just
Right.
mimic things.
Say shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
But hey, that was real fun, right?
Speaking
Don't
of
you love
butts.
those laughs that we just had? Dredge, you walk into the main area.
God damn it. I'm gonna get a beer. I'll be
He
back.
said, "Don't you love it?" No, I don't. When you say that, I don't love it. Actually,
Every time. Every time I do shit like this, I can't just have a nice moment.
Before anything, can I say that Indy is kind of waddling behind Dredge because Dredge finds all the good flavors.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah.
love.
Y'all
That's right.
are kind of making your way in, and the door feels a little jammed at first, like it doesn't immediately open. So you kind of have to shove it, and you see a streak of blood. As
That's
you
not
look
good.
behind the door and see a dead, very clearly injured dead, not like I just died of heat or whatever. Arden, the humanoid. And you're like, oh no. Then you see the foot of an Ectus on the other side of the kind of like map table.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a little like goo. I don't know what the innards of like a gal would be, but that
It's
going
kind of
downstairs.
shredded. It's kind
Yeah.
of shredded-ish.
going down the stairs that seem to go down to the cargo.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So we got somebody who's like Drake. Somebody who's
A human, the cactus people, and
People.
the fungus people so far, the
Fungus.
three bodies
Okay.
that you are
Drake, I
seeing.
think, is the squid person, not a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kind of slutty,
Um,
squiddy guy.
I stop and I'm like, I go to look at the spiders and I realize what they just done. I'm like, oh, hold on. And I shout as loud as I can and be like, found 3 bodies or what's left of bodies. These are dead people. These are dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very clearly, like, brutally killed. Not just, like I said, not it was too hot and they died situation.
Could we have
As
just
you're
been
relaying
looking
this,
to-
I'm gathering up the shreds, or at least some of the shreds of the gal, and putting them in my pocket.
Why?
What?
You're
I
not
think that's
there. You can't ask me that.
I have an idea. Wait, what do you what do you shout specifically?
I think I'd be like, hey, there's 3 dead bodies, and I'm gonna investigate further. If somebody could come with me outside of Indy.
Yeah,
Indeed.
you said the thing. How like brittle is the ground? I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work. But how like?
I mean,
is it just like normal wood? Is it metal?
I mean,
Yeah,
it is
ship
a
construction.
hefty ship. Like this
Okay.
seems to be made for this place specifically.
Okay.
So it has like somewhere they have found some metal plating to kind of do the edges. It is very thick, broad wood on the tops.
Also, could living antidote bring one of these people back to life?
Ooh, good question.
I don't know.
I have use a task to create a rare resource, pure spit or pure sweat.
Interesting. How do you sweat? Interesting.
Tree sap. I don't
Think
know.
on it.
What
Think
Oh,
about
magical
that.
that's fair. Tree sap is a good
I was
idea.
like, what
Cannon.
magical
Tree sap.
Cannon
trees?
for you. Cannon for you. Yep.
I'll say we can explore if that could work. But these poor individuals
Are too far
don't
gone.
need to be alive.
So I see you start to sweat, and I pat my hand on your knee because that's how tall I am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
it's too late for them. It's too late for them, honey.
Okay.
Quario. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So what's Quario doing?
Oh, sorry. Quario would check on Ruby and Drake and be like, "Are you okay if you stay up here?" Like, voltage kind of is now away from the face and looking at you, and like a Xbox original
Oh God.
yellow glow.
Okay.
Are you okay if I go?
Immediately gonna draw my pistol.
Okay, I'm going down now though, and then Quario just kind of hovers down. My original plan was to go straight up and then shoot through the ground, but this is a sturdy ship. I don't know if that'll work, so we don't
that
need
might
to
hurt.
Superman
That might
into
hurt.
that.
Yeah.
Drake's gonna turn to Ruby and ask, what's your preference? Do you want to lead? Do you want to follow? Do you want to chill here?
I'll follow you.
Sounds
Don't run
good.
away from a fight.
So Drake's gonna take his bandana off and his tentacles come up and start like arcing electricity between them and shit. Like all the different piercings or like points.
Quario's trying to catch as many as he can as he's like fading away. Just be like, "Oh wait!"
I imagine Quario like ow, ow.
Those are what those little bits are. They're sparks for me, Pac-Man.
All right, so I'll just kind of narrate as a whole as y'all are all kind of convening to go down. You all also see the same thing in kind of this main room, this bridge area here of, if anyone kind of looks over, one person kind of laid on the ground with a stab wound, the Arden off to the side, gal body kind of down the stairs, and y'all are able to kind of tiptoe around and make your way. Again, it's super silent until you'll start getting down to the bottom and you hear that drip, 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 drip. And you come down here, 5 more dead bodies of various different bloodlines. We'll say Mothrin, a couple more Ardens, Ectus, like a very, very diverse crew. As you see, and again, Drake, you are able to tell where machinery has been pulled out of this room down here. That seems to be the main, like the machinery for the ship itself, still there, but more things, except for a giant tank that has a bullet hole in it and water is dripping out of it. Drip, drip, drip.
And it is water, as far as I can
And
tell.
it is water.
It is water.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just scaring y'all. It is water.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Well, good job, Taylor.
Yeah. I'm like, this bitch is gonna blow us up in
I
the first
know.
episode.
Great. Now
Like, Jesus.
we're Krezerin. We're all gonna die. I go crazy.
Okay. Do I notice anything that, like, the pieces that are missing? Is there any trend to them? Any, like, sense of cohesion, or is it all kind of random?
Yeah. So I'll say, how about we can all roll in whatever different ways people would like to perceive and different things in this area. And while we kind of build that pool and get those dice rolls going, we'll take a break so we can all stretch, go to the bathroom, get some drinks, all of that good stuff. And then we'll come back and see what y'all find. So, everybody, go hydrate, stretch your legs, and we'll be back.
I did that in
Little of both.
several ways.
I got a peanut butter milk stout going on
Thanks,
right now.
Blair.
Hell
Oh.
yeah.
I'm here for that. Let's
We're
go.
here for it. All right, guys. I hope
Mhm.
everybody watching also got a drink and stayed with us. I know we're a little late. Blair did that when we left, but we did it now. Cheers. I have a margarita because who would I be if I didn't?
And gin and tonic.
Oh,
Let's
I
go.
could use a margarita.
also good.
But
I
I'm
can't
just
drink
drinking
anymore
Dr.
today.
Pepper right
I
now.
need to be a functioning human being in a couple hours. So
Oh,
Okay.
God
I got all my
bless.
drinking out of the way today.
Poor Casey,
Yeah,
man.
you
He's
did
like, I
wine
need to
touring.
Proud of
adult.
you. Proud of you. No.
Yeah. Y'all got to go do wine stuff. That's fun.
Yo,
But-
Walla Walla is the truth, and I
I'm
hate
so excited to come see
it's
you.
the truth, and the
Me
food
too.
up here is the truth.
Ooh, I trust Casey's opinion on anything food and beverage.
Yes.
He's literally never steered me wrong.
That's awesome.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
So again, hey, wasn't that so much fun that we were just having for the last 15 minutes? You're in the hull of the ship with about 5 dead bodies and
Good.
dripping water tank.
Okay.
Good.
I have
That's the way
the
I
glove
like it.
doesn't fit,
Confined spaces
so
with dead bodies. Love it.
the glove
Love
doesn't
it.
fit, so I have acquitted.
All right, so let's start with our navigator, who was gonna look into some of the ship changes here, and
Yeah.
everyone feel free to kind of go through, pick an edge, a skill up to 3d6, skill or language, skill would probably all that matters, and two advantages up to that. So your highest dice pool could be 6. So if y'all want to kind of look and see what you'll have and kind of roll, so when I get to you, you can tell me what you got. We can do that.
Let me see. Even the table of contents of this book is laid out really well. 79.
It's a great
All right.
book. It's
Just
beautiful.
easy to-
And the fact
Okay.
that the book cover, when it shipped, I just got lipstick on it, shipped to us, is the GM sheet or screen. I love it.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Very
Um,
cool.
Okay. I need to figure out what I want to use. So what is this? What are the vibes in this space? Like,
Not good, dude.
yeah,
There
but
are
it's
5
like,
dead
gnarly.
bodies, bud.
dumb question. There's a bunch of dead bodies and blood, and I'm like, how does it feel in here?
Like death.
Okay. What does it look? Are we in like is this an enclosed, like almost like room of the ship? Like
Yeah. So
where we
it
at right
seems
now?
like pretty much this is the entire bottom part of the ship. It wasn't like it had a lot of rooms. It seems like this is very much a working ship, whether that be cargo, whatever was taken out of here machinery wise. It's kind of one big room within. You can see the actual bits and pieces that get the machine or keep the ship running are kind of up to the front, mostly intact. It does seem like some metal pieces here and there have been snagged.
Okay.
And then there's probably just like on the side of one wall some bunks. Like it's very much a working ship, not meant for like long hauls.
So I feel like, I guess the equivalent of a sort of perception check, I guess. Like, I want to figure out. I probably not veils. What was it? Sharps. I think makes the most sense.
Yeah.
For that, trying to figure out like what are the pieces from that ship that are missing, and is there any trend or anything that looks sketch?
Okay.
So probably 1 for the edge. I don't think I have an aspect that helps. I get a bonus for navigating or moving through enclosed areas. So I don't know if you want me to.
I'd allow it. I'd allow it.
Cool.
You're
So
kind of doing
conflict
like a
senses.
Sherlock Holmes moment of rebuilding this space to see what was gone. And they're using sense.
Sense, so that would be another 2.
Cool. So that's up to 4. I will say too, just for rules sakes here, you can also do like a helping hand. So you can instead, obviously there can be a helpful assistance. We'll just give a d6. But if two people want to work on the same task at the same time, you can also use edges, advantages, skills from both, but both are affected equally by the outcome. So if there's a negative outcome, you're both in the shit
I
together.
was planning on
Ruby. Yeah, Ruby and I
yeah.
are like right next to
Yeah,
each other.
so I will add at least one for study, which is decipher. So and then I would say
Yeah, if you can give one more thing to give an advantage, y'all can have a full dice pool.
okay,
I
hold
think,
on.
Well, hold on. I do want to backtrack. I think we should only be at 4 with her ad because my tunnel-wise doesn't give me an extra die. It allows me to count triumphs as or it allows me to count conflicts as triumphs.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so we're at 4.
Okay.
So 4 by yourself or 4 with?
4 with
Or
hers.
with.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take the 5 if you want me
Yeah,
to.
so that basically means you have your edge and your skill language. So basically, if y'all can come up with 2 advantages with any sort of items or abilities, you can grow. If not,
Would
4 is
these
also great.
would this be considered ruins?
I mean, it
It
is
is a
pretty
ruined
ruined.
ship.
It is pretty
I'm
ruined.
just
Pretty
going.
ruined.
There's a lot of dead things, so
It's wreckage, but it could definitely still work.
okay. All right. Well, if that's the case, then I would like to add another die for delve. So it's like it says identify the past, but it also says like explore ruins, and so I kind of thought like that would
I
work.
mean, you're also identifying the past
Identify the past
of
as
the ship.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I allow it. So okay,
All right,
so that
cool.
brings you a dice pool of 5.
I can't
and then
give you
any
another. I don't have another.
And it counts conflicts as
edge.
triumphs.
I
so
know,
at
right?
the very least, we get a bonus.
As long as your high isn't a 3 or something. Then
What are my edges?
Oh, I'll wait.
Oh, you
Do you have it
can only
in
do 1d6 for edge, so we're already good with that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so skills would be the only other.
Yeah, because it's choose.
You got what you
if
got.
you're working together on the same
You have
task,
one in
choose who
sense?
provides what.
Do I have what? 1 in sense?
You already have. So
I
you already have
use
your
sense.
max 1d6 in edge. You have your max 3d6 in skills because of sharps or something.
Oh,
So,
okay.
or your study. So basically, your up for grabs were 2d6 of advantage, which you got 1. So you're at 5. So if you can find one more thing that is an advantage, you could get your second d6. So yeah, there's a cap of how many dice you can have per thing.
How far is Gavin? How do you say your character's name?
Quario.
I fucking love it, man.
I
You and your
know.
spelling's cool. So Wario with a Q, right? Quario.
Yep. Yes.
Are you near us, or have you already gone towards to be closer? With
I think I've gone
Dredge?
in
Okay.
a little bit.
So I think we'll stick with the 5 because I think you
that's
3 are up
still
further
great.
and the 2 of us are further back. Yeah, and then let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Damn. All right. Well, it was
Alrighty.
a conflict, which now means a triumph. So you are trying to look and specifically see what has been taken or what was here, right? It's kind of the vibe.
Well, I want to not just that. I want to see what's been taken or what's here, but I want to try to piece together any link between what those might be. Like if 2 seemingly random things, if you're in isolation, might make sense when you put them together with everything else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So you 2 are kind of looking around and kind of conversing on what you're noticing here on different things kind of being missing. And you're very easily able to tell that there seems to be one big section of machinery that has been disassembled to tank it out by the many bloody boot prints back and forth through this. So post-mortem stealing things. And I guess that also leads to whoever stole this probably murdered these people, as it's very, very fresh. The only thing that was really left is this, in this section where things were very clearly stolen, was this water tank that had been damaged, and whatever kerfuffle had happened here, right? Had a bullet hole in it. It drained. There's, kind of water mixing into all of this, and the little drip of just what's left in it. But you can very clearly tell that directly next to where this water tank was, probably another one existed, as there are very similar bolts and pieces and stuff. So it's kind of like, well, this one's good, let's just leave the one that's broken kind of vibe. And as you start to look around, it seems, I would say y'all are able to kind of put together, and probably especially since you had went to, hold on, I have to remember the great name of it. What was it called? It was something, a tongue unfurled. After you'd been on this ship, you probably would have seen similar water tanks that would have been like hooked up to a filtration system. This filtration system is not here, but there is enough space that it probably could have been.
Got it. Okay.
You would know just from probably studying this place before you got here, and by being here and nearly running out of water yourselves, water is a hot commodity. And maybe, and obviously, someone is desperate enough to kill for it.
I think I want to head back to our ship.
Okay.
Because at this point, I know that we have water, and this ship was downed specifically to steal water, and we left the captain unattended.
Somebody send a message with the spiders.
Sorry,
There's no
I just
water.
did this. If I ever do this, that's what I mean walkie-talkie.
Yeah, that's same. That I love that that's our innate reaction, both of us. All right.
I like to think that for both Dredge and Quario too, these poor spiders have gotten like sucked into the magnetic pools, and they're just floating around constantly, and they're just like, oh god. So they're very bad at relaying messages accurately because they're constantly nauseous.
I think
ask
go ahead.
real quick before I just bail. I'm gonna ask the spider to like, hey, is everything looking all right on the ship?
There's
Like,
a little moment of silence.
Can I do those little happy little spiders where puts the legs up? It's like in the antenna.
Oh, they're so cute. They're like,
The jumping
they like touch
spiders?
their legs.
The jumping spiders?
Oh my god, they're fully is a colony of those adorable little hairy jumping spiders, is what Captain Ara
Giving you little
is.
massages. I love it.
Okay.
Oh, I love them. Quiet for a bit. Here comes back. Everything seems good. It's sunny and hot, and she's out of tea.
Oh no.
Oh, Lord.
Cracks.
I knew I should have stayed on the ship. But hey, Spider, let the captain know that something might be coming for our water source.
You're so smart.
Okay.
I may or may not have a few moments of lucidity.
May or may not. All right. So y'all kind of send that off. You're looking around. Yeah. What? We'll finish painting the picture here with what everyone else is looking at, and then we can react.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Gavin?
Quario is going to use some ghostness. Are there any ghosts around? Because that's going to depend on how many die I get. Because I have an ability that lets me talk to ghosts.
Absolutely. You have that ability? Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Let me just make
These
sure I
are
read
freshly dead bodies. They probably don't know what's happening. That's like the perfect area for a ghost.
Quick question. What type of ancestry are they?
A variety.
Mix.
I think, I think
Okay.
we pretty much had,
That's what I thought.
Ironborn probably not, though. Depending on how this ghost talk goes,
I can talk to them. I can. So it's Ghost Heart. You count as fluent when communicating with ghosts, spirits, and other Ironbound, regardless of language used. That's the ability.
Fuck
sure.
yeah, dude.
I'll say you are kind of walking down here, and well, let's get real sad with it. Just bring it back to sad here. You feel this pull over towards the bunks. And at kind of these bunks, you know, there's various little chests and stuff, probably for some personal effects. Like I said, it's very clearly not a long haul ship by any means. It's kind of seems like it was more short jaunts in and out for a week or so. And you feel this pull kind of over to one of these chests. And you kind of like open it up and, you know, see just like a couple of pairs of like overalls and such. We'll say that it kind of looking, close it, and you look over and you see like a very shimmery outline of an ectus individual, the cactus bloodline, sitting there, kind of looking at the pillow, but not moving.
And then, so I think Quario's going to move over to that ectus figure and kind of bend down, still levitating, because I don't want to stop levitating. I'm going to make my levitate as long as I can. Kind of just get closer to the ectus and go, "Can you hear me? Do you understand?"
All of his little thorns kind of prickle out like a porcupine. It was like a quick reaction. And they kind of relax and they look over to you and they're like, I don't know you.
I don't know you, but I want to help understand what's happened here. Help you, maybe.
I kind of like look back. We were just working. And then there was a ship that seemed like it was having troubles at smoking, and we stopped to help. And then they boarded. It was all fine. At first, we were sharing some water and supplies with them to make sure they made it back safe, and then they turned on us.
Oh, so they're right bastards. Okay.
And they weren't familiar to you at all?
I never seen them.
Could you describe what they look like, maybe?
Assholes, apparently.
Assholes, apparently. Oh, sorry, I don't know where that came from. Yeah, there was an ardent woman, long red hair. There was a gal, very barky, like brown speckles. There was an ectus. Not from here. I didn't know him. Kind of looked tendrils. Those are the only ones I saw come down.
Are those what this ectus just described? Is that who was dead on the ground? Because wasn't there? Okay, different. Okay, just a different.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Did they call themselves anything? Did they have a ship name?
I didn't talk to them really. My friend did, and just kind of looks over to the gal on the stairs, and then quickly looks away.
Hmm.
Just said that they were scavengers just trying to make it out of the Ictern.
I did read some of it, but is there a way to like exercise, not in like a mean way, but is there like a way to like get rid of ghosts so they're not tormented in this ship?
Are you asking like from a witchy perspective? Because IRL.
Yeah, let's work with it.
So there are a couple of ways that you can dismiss them. If they have resolved, you can visualize a light and say, "Hey, listen, this door will take you to a place where you're welcome and you feel you will feel complete." You can just say, "Okay, I know you've got stuff to work out with, so just know that you're able to move on when you're ready." So there's a few different ways. If you're just trying to sever your connection, you could just say, "Okay, I'm powering down now."
I want more the former than the latter, so I think I would
Okay.
offer. Is there anything I can do to help you rest or find your old self?
Can you move that? As he tries to touch the pillow and his hand just kind of keeps going through it.
Of course. How can I move it? And he kind of picks it up with his real hand. It was something that's small he could levitate, but he's actually using a real hand.
Yeah. You kind of like move it out of the way and you see a picture, something that's not very common in general. You know, maybe you've heard or seen old pictures, but it seems someone has like kind of recreated, and it is him with a small child sitting in his lap, very, very similar in build and color, but has like two big, bright pink, like little cactus blooms that almost look like little like puffball pigtails.
Well, now we have to kill everybody on this ship. We just
Yeah.
have to do it.
You
I
have
don't care how we do it.
We
They
didn't
have
find a
to
little
die.
Ectus puffball body, did we?
No, all
Okay,
adults.
good.
Yeah, all
Okay,
adults
good.
on the ship.
Do you want to kind of hold this? And this time he will actually levitate the picture if the
Yeah,
Ectus
I'll kind of
tries
like
to
put his
like
hand
do it, so
out.
it
So
looks
it looks like he's holding
Yeah.
it.
so
Gavin,
it
I
looks
fucking
like
love you.
he's holding it.
He kind of like looks at it, you know, turns his head down, and just kind of nods and lets go. You know, you're still levitating, and he's like, Do you know the Crescent Mesa?
Crescent Mesa. Do I know the Crescent Mesa?
I think you've probably seen it on some of the charts. You know, it's in this area.
Yeah,
I bet if you said it out loud, somebody else would.
Yeah,
Looks at the navigator.
Fourth wall.
So Crescent Mesa, like Quario Sailor, Crescent Mesa. I think so. Does anyone know the Crescent Mesa?
So yeah, like you know, I feel like being the navigator, Drake, you probably do like comb over all of the things. And the Crescent Mesa is one of the ports here in town, and it is a kind of island of this mesa that has come up. You know, there's still the iron spikes and stuff coming up to it, but people even live like into the mesa. Like it's one of the like grounded few kind of homes and stuff.
Cool.
And it was what you assumed was the closest port before y'all got a little lost. But so this might be confirmation that you're still pretty close, seeing as this guy's from there on a short trip ship.
Clearly a family man with ties too, not like a
yeah
family person.
Would Yes, I think we know that place and we could get there. Is there something we could help with that?
Could you just take our things back?
Of course. What things?
The picture for sure, but everyone here, and again, like shies away from looking any further than you in this bunk. Keep things with them to just remember home, and I'm sure they'd want them returned.
Okay. What is the name of the one in the picture called?
Let's go to our NPCs here.
I've listed
Carl.
names. I've been collecting names from the chat for you.
Thank you. Oh, somewhere else. Doop-a-doop.
I messaged it to you in Discord.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, we'll say that the child's name is Quill.
Quill. That's a very nice name.
Hopefully, they don't want us to bring their jugs of water, because
I will find Quill and return this photo for you, and I'll bring any personal effects. Sorry to do this to you, Taylor. What are the names of your crew members so that I can help?
Yeah,
return
we
your
got
things as well?
Flick, Ransom, Goran, Carl.
Ransom.
Carl made it.
And Carl made
you
it.
should ask Carl about his junior.
Oh, we got Keith now. Keith from Deserted GM. Hi. So those will be the because I think there was 5 down here and 3 upstairs. Oh, we're gonna hit all the NPC names, guys. Give me more.
Do it.
I love it.
Then we'll say we have Twy, Tori,
Hardee's.
and then
Hardee.
Dorn. So we'll say that his name, since that was everybody's, his name was Ransom. RENSEM.
Ransom. Ransom and
That's
Quill.
the name.
And then I think one of the reasons why Quario is really unsettled is there's a lot of plastic and metal on him, and so the bits are black. He basically melts plastic on his finger because of all the electricity and kind of writes it a little bit on the back of the letter of everyone's name so he remembers it.
Nice. Yeah.
Or not the letter, the picture. So
Yeah.
smells funny though, just because it's burning melted plastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
So while everybody else is doing things, the only thing that India is doing is trying to collect the rest of the dripping water.
Absolutely. Just all these different like tea glasses and flasks.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And then I'm storing them on Dredge in the little nooks and crannies of his armor.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just like, oh, okay. Brother, you talking to one of them specters, I'm guessing?
Oh, you can't? Yeah. Yes, I am.
I'm at a tune. I'm in fight mode versus Xfield, so I'm not in tune right now. Does he want me to make him a body?
I don't. I'll ask. Do you want a body, or shall we carry your things? Do you?
Kind of looks down again, defeated at the pillow, and can't like pick it up. I don't think I'm like you. Something. I think I'm not supposed to be here.
You're always meant to be where you are.
Well, then maybe there's something better waiting.
And I will return this photo and all the personal effects as soon as we can to Crescent Mesa. Dredge box.
Yep. I think because he says that, I think all of a sudden he splits off into several tendrils. It starts collecting all of their personal effects and like just hanging them on, and eventually it'll come in as like a backpack on his back, and he's starting to grow. Also, I think you guys start noticing his because he has like a animal skull. The eyes that are usually like a softer color are starting to turn hard and red. Like right now, they're like an ember color. So something has perturbed him as he's collecting all of these people's things.
I will say too, I think you do notice, and I don't know necessarily if you would really register what, but it seems like everyone does have what seems to be a uniform, and it's all very kind of muted grays with like kind of yellow accents, whether it be like a yellow kind of headscarf to protect from the sun and like protect from the sand, yellow straps on the overalls. Like it is very clearly like this was a company organized kind of thing.
Do they have like a patch or any sort of kind of identifier, like the cool crew, something like that?
I would think that maybe even probably not.
Okay.
But I think that while you're kind of packing things up and Ransom's watching a bit, so he'll just kind of pipe up a little bit or enter, and he's like, we were just here working. We're all contractors for the Leech Consortium, the water company.
Okay.
I think that's probably why we were targeted. Water.
So these people definitely, and this is out loud, these people definitely are going after water. If you were in a water job. Okay. Any other kind of bits of info or who your employer was, so I can let them know? They can maybe make our jobs a little bit easier.
They have a headquarters at the Mesa. If you make it there,
We will.
I have a name. I have a name. Where is it? I know.
The name is Nestle Pure Life. We're out.
I know, right?
Right.
If you say Nestle, I'm not in this.
No. The company is the Leech Consortium.
No,
but
Nestle's the one stealing it. That's the crew.
Cool.
what it
I'll
is.
win. Let's
That's
go.
what it is.
Perfect. Can't.
They're like, there's an engineer that we usually report to when we come back, Favia.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
can direct you places. Do you have any other questions? I think I need to sleep.
No, you should go. You should go to sleep. You've been so helpful, and know that I will return as much as I can. And you are incredibly helpful and brave. And thank you.
Thank you. He'll kind of like lay. Well, he'll start to lay over and then stop, kind of look at you and point at the pillow again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put the pill personally, and then again indent with the ability.
Yeah.
So.
But it does just kind of look like he just falls through the mattress and dissipates.
I think what you'll see after all that is Quario's going to stop levitating, and he's going to thud to the ground, and then almost like a venting of like just kind of electric energy, so that if you do touch something that's metal, you're going to zap yourself. Not hard, but it's almost like that was a lot. And so just be prepared.
So Gao is going to take a stop, or Indy's going to take a stop from collecting water. Like, they are pulling over a giant barrel trying to collect the rest of the water, and it's not really working well. And then crash, boom, Quario is down. So they're going to go over and look around, find a rod of some kind, put it next to his boot, and then like slowly kick it until it makes contact so that it discharges.
like it.
It discharges and
Right.
grounds.
I like
You,
that a
you
lot.
feeling
I
you
love
feeling okay there, buddy?
Oh, I think so. It's always sad, but I think I'll be okay. Thank you. Did anyone else see it this time?
You had a couple of like faces show up on some of the screens on your backside, but it wasn't like it was kind of well, I wasn't really paying attention. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. But anyway,
I will say,
I
why
wonder
you
if-
say out of the corner of my eye, you do notice as Dredge is kind of like packing some things, a piece of like parchment kind of falls, Indy, and you look at it, and it looks to be kind of like plans, but also more like instructions for what is called pulp create production.
I can't read this. Somebody smarter than me read this.
I grab
Pulp?
it
Okay.
immediately. Like,
What language is
okay.
it written in?
We'll say just whatever kind of the common is it's
Little
more
slang.
it's less like someone's like diary writing in their native language, more like this seems to be a like standard operating procedures manual kind of thing, where you see that it details out kind of how to use what thankfully y'all have two cases of on your ship currently, thanks
Yep.
to the thing. Basically, let's see, it says consortium alchemists have unlocked the secrets of pulp create, an effective heat reflecting building material used in most of their settlements. The pulp is a byproduct of the cactus drilling, giving them an almost endless supply. So this kind of gives you a way that if y'all had the supplies, you can maybe make something even more valuable out of your cargo.
Okay.
Or cool off your ship.
Mhm. So it's an energy supply, is what I'm understanding, correct?
It's more of a like heat reflecting. You could
Okay.
make like
You said that,
armor to kind of cover yourself, or on ships or on buildings. You make a
Cool.
kind of like how Adobe mud and stuff
Mhm.
works.
Yes. So I read this, I roll it up, and I hand it to Drake.
All right, I'll take it. I can read those stars, so I'll read it. I'm kind of like, oh, interesting. Roll up. What do we need to do? Like, what do you need me to do? We have some of this on ship. Do you think there's any more here? Do we need to go deeper?
I think it's worth a shot. I mean,
Sounds like a plan to
surely,
me.
surely the person who did all of this isn't here, right?
What was that?
What was that?
Do we have a
Tiny
pet dog?
Murphy.
Do we have a dog again? Yes.
I would start implementing like a new house rule of every time one of the dogs barks, there's some monster that's now attacking. They're just barking.
I think if you guys
Ring the doorbell.
Right?
Veto.
Like I always avoid random encounters, but that will now be my new random encounter. Bark. Oh, hey guys.
And I will say this: when Ruby hears Drake say like, "Let's go deeper and find more," like her antennas kind of flicker a little. Like she is like, this is her thing. Like she wants to go. So the moment that someone suggests it, she's never gonna say no. Not one time.
Okay.
Yeah, like
That's such a great idea.
okay,
Yeah.
I love where you're going with this. Like,
I will say too, like especially looking at these plans and things, Drake, it's probably cluing in that is some of the equipment that was stolen. Filtration, making these things. You saw stuff outside that was missing. It could have been the drills, because you can get this stuff from topside. It's just drilling into the cactus. It's just drilling into these things. So all of that equipment has probably been taken from the ship. And that might have
definitely
been.
think we should go on. Dresden would probably like this those. And she like points at them and she's like, so.
Did you actually stumble over your words in character
Yeah.
too?
Oh,
Okay,
1,000%.
Yeah.
Like,
Please, like,
yeah, like I'm really just too excited to contain myself. Like,
Yeah,
Can
cool.
I-
Also, like Drake will clue into that and just be like, lead the way. Let's go.
she does.
Can I ask just two things? One, are Ruby's little puffballs ruby red?
They are not. So normally regular antennas of a maple would look like this, like rosy maple. But I have an ability where I have fronds that come out of my antenna that light up,
Ooh.
but I don't need them yet.
Okay.
So
Sorry. Spoiler. I didn't mean to spoil it.
No, it's fine. No, there's no. That's why I asked where it was like time wise, and I imagine the further we go inside, it might get darker. You don't know. So, but yes, no, these are my evolutionary lights. It's great.
Do they vibrate when you get really excited too? So like during that whole time where they just kind of
I
like
would say they probably like twitch and like
Yeah.
like they're not. It's not twitchy. They just like tendrily move. Like
Mhm.
she doesn't do much with her body, but you can always tell how she feels with her
I love it.
antenna.
I love it.
As we go forward, Indy will want to be looking for anything Gao related, like any spores, any pieces. It's pertinent to one of my goals.
Ruby would probably know that just because we are friends and we're close.
And you know the reason why.
Yes. And so Ruby would absolutely like keep an eye on for that as well. She moves forward. Ruby goes forward and goes where she can.
I'm gonna do a slight retcon. So initially, like Drake's color was intended to be random. I'm gonna make the bitch a mood ring. Like his whenever he's like excited, he gets I don't know what the excited color is on a mood ring. I gotta look it all up.
I will
now.
find that information for you. Hold
Yeah.
on.
It's like yellow.
Insert color here as soon as he's like, well, let's go, and you're like, yeah, let's go. Instant,
So that's like it's like yellowish, heading towards red, because the warmer you get, the more the color changes. But like the baseline is like blues and greens.
Mm.
cool. So then
I
would say
may
he's
or may
probably
not
like-
have done a study on it in college.
I love it.
Nice.
Cool. So we'll say he's almost like sunset colored, like yellow into
Ooh.
dark, or like orangey red, right? Like small gradient. And we'll try forward.
Awesome.
But like, I'm also he's gonna like with his pistol out, like.
So you're like in looking through the ship further, or
Yeah.
because y'all are kind of it's all kind of one big room. Like you could go look through like the actual moving parts of the innards of the ship, but you can kind of see what you can see down here in this big.
So
open
there's
thing.
no other holding bay. Like this is it, and like okay.
Mhm.
I mean, Dredgen's still going upstairs. So if anybody else is leaving, he's got all the stuff and he's starting to go back to the ship.
I don't want. Quario is still kind of venting, but asks, "Does anyone need my help?"
We just need you to get back into form, so you take whatever time you need. Okay?
And you'll see that he stands up, and when he stands up, like you just hear big thuds and like click clacking of metal. So it's like he is like very big now, and he's not floating, or like just very lightly floating, but like
Just
he's
remember
actually
to
steps
touch
now.
something and ground that electricity thingy. Keep touching things to discharge you.
I love the
don't know
Northeast
if-
mom energy. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Just gonna take care of you.
I may have typecasted myself.
I'm gonna put my hand on my Think So brother's shoulder. Yep. Give him a little zap, just a little pick me up.
Yep, but he's good. He's I think the whole reason why he keeps choosing trees is because of your electric power, and it's like
It's
we
not
just
as conductive.
naturally. It's like I'm your ground.
Yeah, I
He's
like
like,
it.
I'm fine. I'll be even better when we find these bastards.
He was quite sad. But before we find those bastards, we need to return the goods.
Agreed.
Okay.
Did we find any other personal effects that we
I've been
need
collecting
to?
that the entire time. So
Oh, great. Okay.
yeah,
It
Not
shouldn't
that was-
take long. We shouldn't take long. Like if she's like,
I like-
she's like, it's fine. Like, yes, we'll
Ruby
be
and I
right
are like
back.
shuffling off. to this, oh, yeah.
And that, and that, and then I'm gonna keep that.
I'll go with Dredge then for now.
Okay.
But use the spider walkie spiders, something, to communicate with us if you can, please. Help us. Okay.
Okay. All right, so y'all are heading up while everyone's kind of filling up things. Is there anything else anyone wants to do on the ship before you each make your way back to your own vessel?
I'll take
Is
the
that
pillow.
kinda
If
that-
that wasn't taken, I'll take the pillow.
However, Ruby and I find, I think we're still going to be diving deeper to see what else we can find in relation to the note.
Again, just picking up gal parts,
Absolutely.
and probably like purposely walking over blood stuff just to taste and see if there's anything interesting.
There's gotta be.
So
I love it.
fucking cool.
I love it. And Dredge is already gone and is the only one that picks up on like what is probably actually happening.
Yep. Like don't do that. Don't do that.
Do we
It's
mark?
just like,
do we mark when we play into our Myers?
You do.
So
Ooh.
that is literally one of my Myers. I am forced to eat and drink something beyond description in order to survive, and this is how
I
eat
would
and
say,
drink.
yeah, this is kind of the first one for the game. That yeah, you're probably like how does that make Indy like feel, or what are any thoughts kind of going through their head as maybe you recognize or maybe you don't recognize that you're kind of playing into this mire that you have?
Oh, I totally don't recognize it. This is just, sorry. Let me switch to character voice. The mycelium, they don't actually eat like other people do. We feed on decay. We feed on death. So there's not a lot of death on board the ship. So I can drink tea, and that's dead leaf juice. But this is a full meal. This is how we eat.
Love it.
I gotta taste everything,
All right. So yeah, and anyone else too. Yeah, keep in mind your Myers. I need to like write them down so I can have them. I can also kind of inflict you with some more if y'all see some gnarly shit, which honestly this is, but I'm being nice because it's the first session.
Was.
Nice. It's
This
just
is episode
bodies
1
after
of like
body is dead.
8,
It's
9.
fine.
Yeah. You know.
I'm only
But
slightly cannibalistic. It's fine.
it's fine. It's
Just
fine.
fine. It's just how we
Don't worry
do.
about it. Yeah, it's natural.
It's totally natural.
Waste
Waste
the
not,
greatest
want not, as
I mean,
Heritage said.
Yeah.
Love that.
What murder?
What murder? So yeah, I would say as Drake and Ruby, y'all kind of keep looking around. You would find some other things that maybe more concretely prove that this crew was with the consortium, the Leech Consortium, by finding the actual like manifesto, crew documents, those sort of things up in the bridge, some just general info. So you could have the names again. Granted, Aquario wrote them down, but you'd have that. You would have, where they were supposed to go, which was pretty much here and then back. So now you have a much clearer chart, if you would like to compare to y'all's, of where you are and where you need to go. as well as just, probably just a general handbook, but also probably a good old like repair manual, general standard operating procedure for the equipment and such as well. Like you've kind of like busted through some shelves and such to kind of find some more info here, where it seems whoever was here didn't look at shit in this bridge. They were not worried about that. They were worried about the machinery, But other than that, maybe I'll say if you want, there's probably another kind of crate similar of the cactus. What was the official word of the actual cargo?
Oh.
The cargo thing. Scroll ship sheet. Cactus pulp.
Okay.
So, doesn't seem like if some of this was taken, they left at least a case.
We're going to take that. I'm going to take that, all of that.
Yeah.
Just all of it.
Just all it.
Are there any aluminium cans?
Aluminium. Yeah, that sounds right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there would be any aluminum.
I figured there
cans,
wouldn't.
but there's probably some aluminum similar like sidings and pieces to some of the machinery that is left, like the actual ship parts, because there is still some metal here to be salvaged. If y'all want to spend the time to actually start pulling some metal out of here, which will sell. I don't
want to take a ton of time. What I'm looking for smaller pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe there's like some casings and stuff for smaller bits that are still kind of that thin, but you can like pry them off and have more like sheets that you can then.
I'm not trying to like take the ship apart. I'm just trying to take. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay.
Okay.
I was like,
I'm like obsessively studying.
I got plans. Okay.
Like the thing that like clued in for me that I wrote into my backstory. I actually didn't write it down as a drive, but it directly makes sense. Is to return with new details and charts, which would be the primary compensation for the guild. So that's what I'm going to focus on. Like that little bit of detail. Like, oh shit, we can navigate right here now, right with this opening. Oh my god! Like,
So you know the map man, the one who keeps trying to map the area, who can never get it.
For sure.
You know that guy.
Yeah, the one that lives on Drury Lane.
Drury Lane.
Yeah.
Tree Lane.
How
Got it.
many
Nailed it.
memes are we going to stuff into this
Drury
game?
June.
Like
because there's dunes.
I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah.
I love it. All right, so y'all kind of gather up some of your things. You're looking, I would say, as maybe what seems to kind of be the stragglers with Drake and Ruby kind of gather the last few pieces. You hear from your spiders, we have to hurry now. It's getting really windy.
Okay. Wait.
On our way.
Can I use the emergency eject button?
What's the emergency eject button?
I wanna make the ship have its like ropes and shit find us, attach to us, and pull us back.
Absolutely, you can. As you get up to the deck, I'll say, I'll narrate it as although a couple of y'all are, most of y'all are over before the last two, but you feel the wind picking up. Like I said, you're still a little protected here from the general elements, but you're about to have to get up to, now that you know the track is these blooms towards the mesa. In the very distance behind you, opposite way of where you need to go, you can see just this giant sand cloud as this huge sandstorm seems to be making its way y'all's direction, as this ropes and stuff kind of grab on y'all, pull you up as the ship is already going. Like once the captain saw y'all on deck and knew Drake had it covered, y'all were up and pulled, and it is going and breaching up onto the taller of the iron spikes here. The wind immediately hitting. Like everyone almost has to hit. Well, the not iron bound massive people almost have to hit the ground for a second to not get blown over. As
I'm sticking my
rush.
fingers in the sockets just to make sure we're not using the little trolley motor. We're using
Love it.
We're using full
You are
Tempest
going,
power.
absolutely going.
Quario battery.
As
that.
you see in front of you now, just this giant grove of cactus blossoms. It's just pink and yellow and orange and white blossoms almost as far as you can see. And this still even in front of you, it is still very sandy and windblown. But you start to head off through, it has an official name. Let me grab it. Let me find it right here. Iris Bay. How cute. As you take off, you start going, and you start to see in the distance the edge of a very flat, kind of orangish red mesa sticking out of the blooms. But that is where we'll pick up next time to see if y'all can actually outrun the storm.
We cannot.
And then make it.
Wow, this is negative things here.
I'll be fine. It's not like you've been beaten up by cactus needles for the last couple of months and haven't got to repair anything. I'm sure that won't come into play at all.
No, not at all.
I mean, so I was like, aluminium.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the raids and the follows and the chats and all of that fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of our Wildsea adventure. My goal was to have kind of each of these adventures be like 1 or 2 shot kind of contained here. Obviously, this one's got to be a little bit of 2 shots, so we won't have downtime in between this session, but we'll have it after next. And all of that, and be able to kind of go through what we want to do from there. But we'll see if y'all can outrun the storm. Not next Friday, but the next, so the 15th. But let's go ahead and do one little round of goodbyes and what everybody has coming up soon and all of that good stuff. I'm going to just go in my same order because it's nice and easy. Let's throw it over to Nyx.
Well, hello. So this is my real voice. Because I have all the voices. And you can find me on my Twitch, Resonant Moon. You can also find me on TikTok at nyx.resonant.moon. I'm probably going to start making content again because this stuff always rejuvenates me and makes me more creative. As far as what I'm doing tomorrow, or technically today because I'm East Coast, so in about 11 hours, I am going to be playing on Verdant's channel for their Extra Life weekend. They are doing a full weekend of Extra Life gaming days. We're starting off the day with Magical Kittens, and it's going to be great. And then Sunday, same time, same bat channel. I am going to be running one of my favorite games to GM for, which is Thirsty Sword Lesbians. It is going to be a speed dating in a very strange casino, and we love it. So, all the money that we're raising is going towards the Children's Miracle Network. So if you have time and energy and resources or the ability to share, please come on over and do that. And if you're interested in my fiber workings, Fiberomancers, the number 4 higher is where you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and .com. Is that everything? I think that's everything. And if it's not, I'll post it in the Discord. Also, join the Discord. We post clips there and stuff.
Alrighty, let's then go over to Casey.
Hey everybody, how you doing? So you can find me over here at HSC. where it looks like, if I read my messages right, we just have confirmation that I will be running Mass Effect on the 22nd of this month.
Yeah.
That am the finally beginning the end of our Mass Effect series here. So come check us out on the 22nd if you guys like to watch people like Gavin and Taylor make me look like a damn fool all the time. Possibly, I might actually get revenge.
No.
Let's see how many limbs I can shoot off this time. But other than
Look.
that, you can find me
No.
at a tabletop trucker at Instagram, or tabletop trucker at 78 at Instagram, and tabletop trucking at TikTok, and where I make stupid stuff. I don't believe anything that comes out of my mouth over there. I'm an idiot. But yeah, that's for me.
Alrighty, let's then go over to Matt.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt. Pretty much only on High Shelf, so feel free to tune in, watch all the everything that happens on High Shelf. But yeah, either at Mac and Boss or at SoCaliBear on the social medias. Just poke through the two and come hang in the Discord.
I think you mentioned Discord. Hold on,
Come
let me.
play Baldur's Gate.
I've spent way too much damn time in Baldur's Gate. Like
I
I'm
have
still in
not.
chapter 1. I need to play more. Or
I'm
act
still,
1.
yeah, I need to get rolling. I haven't beat the Goblin Camp yet.
I
I had an all
Just it.
campaign in Baldur's Gate 3, and it's amazing.
Yes.
Oops, all the
Let's.
words.
I love it. Let's then go over to Holly.
Hey, I am OMG Holly D, and you can find me in several places in the next few weeks. I will be here next week on the 9th, I do believe, playing the Die campaign. I'm very excited.
16th.
Oh, was it? Crap. Okay,
Yeah,
gotta write that down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the 16th, you will find me here playing the Die campaign. And I am very excited about that. I just a preview, I'm playing the Dictator, which is a very controversial character. The more I read about it, I'm like, oh man, what did I bite off? I don't know. And then also next Tuesday on Lost Caravan, I will be playing in I think our third episode. It's technically our fourth, but our third episode of the sponsored series of Orbital Blues with Taylor. And I'm playing Fancy. I love her.
I do too, but also so does my character.
Yeah, right. Like, here's the thing: I will always try to date Taylor if
we're in a game.
If
together.
we're in a game together, I think we ended up together in
Good
one
taste.
game already. Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
I feel the same. It never happens, but I feel the same.
But yes, and then I know in September I'm also playing I am playing on stream the Mech Finder that Hoop and James or Eldris Osiris have made that they're releasing, which is compatible with Pathfinder 2E. And so I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to share my really cool mech with you guys. And and other than that, I think that is it for me, I think. But yes, you can find me at OMG Holly D on all socials. So Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, all of them. You can find me there. And that's it for me.
Let's go to Gavin.
Well, so I'm in the Mass Effect game on the 22nd. And I could be in theoretically anything in HSC. No, but watch it and I may be there. So who knows?
What is
go.
this no part?
I'm not in everything in HSC. I can't be in
Yes,
everything
you
in HSC.
What?
I can't either, but unfortunately, here we are.
I'm there in spirit. How about that?
Can't get
I'll be
rid of
there in
me.
spirit.
Cool beans. Taylor at _ potato _ or without them, I don't know. My branding's screwed. But I'm not changing my name. But what do I have going on other than what has been mentioned? Big one. I'm gonna start with the two that I always accidentally skip. Big one. Hey, Apochromatic Unlimited, absolutely amazing collective. It is full of all BIPOC individuals supporting other BIPOC individuals. We have streams going on that are AP streams. Our last one was Casey running some Mass Effect. We do video games like me, Paul, and Mark Javen going through Remnant, and it's very Remnant 2. And it's been very fun. One, love that game. Two, it's so easy to mess with Mark J while doing that. And it's been the highlight of my weeks when we get to do that. Plus, we have the zine out, which you can get for free on our itch, as well as our Patreon. Currently, it is issue 0. It is all created by our admin team. I did all the design work and layouts and all that stuff. So if you like it, go support it. Maybe join our Patreon, or maybe throw some money on Twitch or on itch, whatever that's called. They're all so similar. And we're all going to be at Big Bad Con. So any support there will help us to bring, because we're going to bring physical copies of the zine. So come find me if you're at Big Bad Con, and you can have a physical copy of the zine. And also my business card, hire me. But also check out, because episode 4 just dropped this week of Bloom and Blight, which is a Girl by Moonlight podcast that I GM and that the wonderful Kit and Anna have been producing and editing, and it's beautiful. Oh my God! Hi, Live from the Apocalypse. Thanks to the raid. We're wrapping up, unfortunately, but we'll raid on to someone else too. Don't worry, stick around. We'll keep the raid party going. Which is just absolutely amazing. It's magical girl themed. It's getting wild. I think Kit commented when they posted this episode that this is the first of like 4 that they teared up while editing. I'm very proud. I did make all my players cry so far. We're quite a far ahead in recording compared to release, but
it's been getting me through traffic. I love it.
Damn, Taylor. Damn.
I know. I've literally never, I think, been able to successfully make people cry in my campaigns unless someone like dies, except for Girl by Moonlight, and I've ran one shot of it where everyone cried. And now this campaign, I'm like, this is Magical Girl is where I should live. It's emotional. Then you can find me over on Lost Caravan for Orbital Blues every other Tuesday, for Duskgrave, which is our Lancer mini-series, every other Monday, and then every other Saturday for Fabula Ultima. I'm there all the time, guys, but then now I'm also getting really busy over here, where, hey, come back. This coming Wednesday will be episode 3 of Slasher Flick. It'll be the survivors from the first 2 episodes meeting together in a absolute horrifying scenario that Hoop from Lost Caravan has created for us. It's going to be great. It's going to be emotional. There's going to be murder from both sides, I'm sure, his and the creators. It's going to be a blast. Then be sure to come back here, like Holly said, on the 16th for some Die, the premiere ran by the wonderful Nate. I will be playing the Neo because, of course, I have to play a cyberpunk coded character. What else would you expect me to do? Very excited for that, as well as obviously this will be back on the 15th, which every other Friday for that. And then Beacon starts over here on the 20th, ran by JT and kind of their own homebrew world and creation with the Beacon rules, which, if anyone knows Lancer, very similar, same game company, same kind of vibe, but instead of mechs, you are just magical people. It's so cool. I think that's all the things that we've got going on here, though. So come check all of that out. Rich Randomness every other Tuesday, which the next one will be hit on the 12th. And then, like Casey said, Mass Effect on the 22nd. And then October's coming, baby. We're getting spooky, y'all. Get ready for it. Cool. Shit. Holly, will you vamp for me and talk about how cool Wildsea is while I open up the thing to raid? Because I always forget to do that till the last second.
I will. So Wildsea is very exciting. Not only is it a completely new setting, I will tell you, I love the effect that narratively you can build a dice pool. Makes it so cool and also involves your players, right? You have to know your PC. Even if you don't know the rest of everything, you have to know what you can do. And I really love that. Um, Secondly, can we talk about the ancestries and heritages? We talked about this at break. I'm just going to tell you, it's literally the whole reason I bought the book. They were like, let me tell you about how you can be a cacti person or the souls of like a ship of people who went down and they want to have their last hurrah. Okay, sold.
Like,
Honestly,
absolutely.
beautifully. Well done. Inventive. I haven't seen it before, and I'm here for that. Um, I yeah, like not
And the
only
art's awesome.
yeah, I would say
It's
not
so
only
good.
right, not only are the heritages and ancestry is amazing, the art is fantastic. All the characters and baddies that they have, I don't want to give too much away in case Taylor uses one of them,
Go for
but
it. Go for it. I'll just change it.
um you said I'll just change it. But I mean, we have a scaled like Leviathan beast. She is called the Queen Beneath. And
Oh, she's the one that I used for the Last Caravan 3 shot.
she's amazing.
She
I
is who they had to return the
literally
artifact to, and it was so fun.
it's so cool.
So
And
good.
you have pirates. Like, though you're on a ship and you're doing your thing, pirates still exist in this world. I think that's really cool. Um,
Yes.
they have a whole like separate section on illnesses and sicknesses that you can get, and they only affect certain people. And I think that that's also brilliant. So,
It's so cool. And like just the resources for the GMs, like I'm not even kidding when I say that everything that will happen in this session and the next was pulled straight from pre-made NPCs that they had, other than obviously
they
the
really
ones that
do
had
a
come up to
lot
me.
of the work for you,
Yeah,
and
like
it's very
NPCs,
well done.
lore and like rumors is in each reach, plus like horrors and places and it's so good. Everybody play this game.
Mhm.
Anyway, a lot of people are already off tonight. We having a nice chill Friday. I mean, I guess we are at like 9:30
Long
Pacific.
weekend, baby.
Let's go. So we are going to go over to read Magi RPG because they're currently the
Yay!
only
I
one
love
doing
them.
RPG stuff, and I feel like we haven't like given them love in a long time. So let's go hang out with them. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Thank you for all of the input on NPC names and the raids and the follows and all the wonderful things. And please come back for the second part of this story arc, which will be in 2 weeks. Oh boy. Alrighty, everybody. I'm going to go to our little thank you screen, but once the raid now button pops up, we will be raiding. Goodbye.
We're out of here.